12:30,
Yeah,
right?
so it's like perfect timing.
John in the middle.
Great.
All right, we got it. There's 6 mics and 8 of us, so we got to share them.
Okay. Brody, good to see you, brother. All right, man. You been good? Are you behaving? Trying, me too.
Oh, wait.
We got a lot of competition around us, John.
Yeah, what's new?
Right.
At least we're not at the breaker, whatever.
Is that,
We're
a,
not going to be able to.
is that like an iPad?
It's a digital notebook.
Oh, that's cool.
What? You good?
We're just going to take the mics and
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being out there. Welcome to the 2025 National in Chicago, where the 2026 and 2027 National will also be. My name's John Newman, host of Sports Card Nation, Hobby Quick Hits, Breaking Cardboard. I probably forgot something, but that we only have an hour, so I'll quit there. I'm gonna. We are Hobby Hotline is a Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern show. Right now, we're on the first and third Saturdays of each month. For August, will be the second and fourth week with the national schedule. And that may change. We may go back to every week. We'll see what develops there. Enough of me talking. I'm going to have the panelists. We're a show that has, I think, 14, 15 different personalities and collectors and people of the hobby, and I love that. And I think we're on our 5th year. My math is right. And we've had some people come through and leave, but we've got a great panel right now. I'm going to have everyone sort of introduce themselves, their own content. We'll kind of start from left to right here, or my left.
All right, appreciate it, John. Alex Tressler, aka Army ATC 22, anywhere on social media. I deal with a lot of the hobby community, capturing those moments that a lot of people might not be able to see at shows and everything else. And I just enjoy it. 22 years, Army retired vet, and just enjoying the passion.
I just saw a couple videos of you from back in the day.
Yeah.
The young Alex. I almost didn't recognize you, man.
Yeah, everyone's telling me I should shave the beard off and, go back to those days. So I posted a few videos from the National here in 2013 in Chicago. It was the first time I ever come to the National at Chicago was then, and I thought it was a good throwback.
Yeah, so if anyone says, hey, you've only been in the hobby 4 years, you have proof that that's not true.
I have receipts, as they say, these days, right?
Thanks, Alex. Go.
I'm Lauren. My handle is Lauren Goes Here everywhere. I do card art. I hand embroider cards. I am very happy to be a part of the Hobby Hotline team, and I also write for collectibles on SI. And I'm also set up with my husband. We go around to card shows a lot and set up. A lot of basketball, high-end basketball, Kobe, Jordan, and right now very heavy on the WWE, which is a lot of fun.
What's up, everybody? My name is Adam Palmer, Adam Drew Palmer on all the platforms. I used to be Heroes for Sale. I also write with collectibles on SI. I have a daily show on Sports Card Nonsense as well. Been doing a host. I think I was the first episode I did was maybe episode 200, and I think we're probably in the 400s now.
Yeah, and I think we screwed up the count too. So there's a couple. I think there's a couple episodes that never happened. We just skipped the number. So those are the lost episodes. But yeah, it's crazy. 5 years of doing the show, and again, thanks everyone up here who's currently part of it. But thank you to all the people who've come through and have lent their expertise and their time. It's what makes us what we are.
Yeah. Sorry. And then it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Adam Drew Palmer. That's where you can find me everywhere. TikTok is where I'm trying to cover the show as much as I can, so I'd appreciate if everybody looked at those videos because I'm spending a lot of time on those. So, yeah, well, next.
Yeah, I'm Logan Ward, King NASCAR on Twitter, and I also have my own YouTube channel. We do NASCAR Radio, which is a weekly show just on NASCAR cards, believe it or not, and it drops every Friday. So you might want to check that out. NASCAR cards, I think, are finally coming back. But been on Hobby Hotline long time. I'm an OG, John says, so that's good. So I've been on a while. I love Hobby Hotline. Please be sure to check it out and check out my channel and check out NASCAR Radio.
I got my own mic here. Yeah, I got my own mic. I'm Chris Harris.
Chris brought his mic with him.
Yeah. I'm doing this with one arm tied in front of my.
Don't
chest,
try
just
this at home.
Yeah.
Chris is a trained professional.
You might know me from Hobby News Daily. God bless
We
his
know his
soul.
resume better than he does.
I'm still on East Coast time here, all right? I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, and I'm like miserable. I'm sorry. And I got Tom Brady over here staring over me like our overlord. Should have wore my Nick Foles mask just to keep it fair. But I used to write for Hobby News Daily. Maybe I might be writing for Collecting for SI soon. I don't know. And I've been on Hobby Hotline almost since the beginning.
Yeah, you're OG minus if
enough.
there is such. Yeah, close enough.
And I used to write a baseball card blog back in the day called Stale Gum. It's been inactive for a while, but it's still there. So
I am Victor Roman. I am on YouTube as Victor, the Rookie Card Specialist. My work basically deals with understanding the history of the rookie card, proper identification of a rookie card. I actually did write a book, True Rookie Cards. I do have copies available. If you're interested in that after the show, you can get a hold of me. But been with Hobby Hotline for a few years now. Really enjoy the camaraderie and respect that we have for one another. And I love the diversity that we have of so many different voices.
I'm Brody2K. You might know me on Instagram as Brody the Kid 1. I do the daily rip where I rip a pack of cards every day. I'm obviously on Hobby Hotline with all these people, and I love covering sports as long with anything with the hobby. You're going to see a lot of posts from me about Chicago sports as well. Go Sox.
And they won yesterday, Brody. I brought them luck. I went to the game, and they beat the Phillies. Sorry, Philly guys.
It's another series win. We're on fire.
Yeah.
I was at the game where the Phillies completely destroyed them.
Yeah, that was the day before. So Alex brings the Phillies luck. I'm not a Sox fan, but apparently I bring them luck when I show up to the game, except the 4-hour rain delay that I had to sit through before the game started. First question I'm going to ask Victor and Brody. I know you guys are really disappointed that the Nationals here the next 2 years after this one, being Chicago guys. But all joking aside, this is in their backyard, so that must be nice. But all right, let's get into some topics. We'll start off with one that's not a good one, but it's part of the hobby. It's part of the story and fabric of the hobby. And you know, you walk around this building, and there is a lot of autographed memorabilia here. There's autographed cards, and we heard about the story that broke about a week and a half ago about the forgery scandal based out of Indiana, and a gentleman, I won't name him, who wound up unfortunately committing suicide after posting a big long note basically throwing everyone involved under the bus. You know, this is, they're saying when all this smoke and dust, when the smoke clears and the dust settles, that this is going to be probably the biggest scandal to hit the hobby. Obviously, that's not a good story, but just some thoughts here. You know, are the effects going to trickle down to this year's National? Does it affect you as a collector? And, you know, where do we go from here with it? So whoever wants to to jump in here.
Walking around the floor, like, you still see a lot of signed memorabilia, right? You know, I don't know if it's just still too fresh, right, to really affect the people that were coming here with their inventory. Like, how are they trying to figure out what stuff that they actually had that possibly was involved with it? So I'm seeing people buy it all over, carrying it around. But, again, TriStar has that lovely pavilion for a reason. And these days, if you want to make sure it's authentic, go get it yourself, right? Walk up there and get it signed yourself.
Yeah, leave no doubt, right? If you get it in person, you leave no doubt. You know, I talked about this on my own content. One thing I thought about, coming into this show and this event is there are a lot of autograph dealers here who obviously everything's on the up and up. They've been around a long time. And this story, whether they like it or not, is going to affect them, right? They're going to get probably extra questions like, where did you get this? How did you get this? Because if you heard about this scandal, it's not only the autographs being fugazied, but even the certs and the holograms. So, you know, that's an extra layer where something can be sold as real, and you think it's real because it has a hologram or a COA, and that's not real, and neither is the autograph. So I think about, as a dealer myself, not an autograph dealer, but they're going to be facing a lot of questions because of someone else's actions. They could be 100% above board, and they probably are, but now they have to deal with, it's like what we do with breakers, right? One bad breaker, and everyone kind of just lumps the whole breaking industry. They're all bad. And I think that's a little bit what might happen with autograph folks. So for those folks, I feel a little bit bad that they're going to deal with some of the fallout because the person who's the ringleader of it didn't stick around to face the music. Adam, I don't know if you do a daily thing where you talk about breaking news and topics, like kind of your thoughts, and you're a veteran of this show now as well, like just kind of your general thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, transparency is something that I'm always advocating for in the hobby, whether it's grading or whether it's more information in packs or anything. I mean, so to see one of the bigger scandals, like you said, from an autograph perspective, like I don't necessarily follow autographs. I just never got into it. The market is too not necessarily hot and cold, but there's too much of a spectrum between like what's a good autograph, what's a bad autograph. Athletes are always changing their autograph. So for me, it's the transparency of it that I really am hoping that all the companies can like learn from, and just not just assuming that we can trust every single company that's in this industry nowadays, I think is one of the important things that, like I said, I hope that companies realize that the more transparency they can give, I think the more trust they're going to earn. And that's another thing, like, for so long, it just was the trust from the consumer was always just assumed, So now that we're seeing issues like this, it's really it is obviously going to be a big scandal, and once it becomes more mainstream, we're going to potentially see some more mainstream coverage of the industry. So if it's whether you're buying or selling or you're doing a show or breaks or anything, I think that offering the transparency up front is always going to be a good move for anybody that's doing any of that type of stuff.
Hey John, can I add? I've been a hobbyist for almost 40 years of my life, and I'm sick and tired of seeing these phony scams constantly happening within the hobby. I think it's time to clean this mess up. How does somebody fake a hologram and get away with it? I mean, that's always has been the key element of authenticity, and now that is being threatened. So we either need to step up our technology, or we need to educate people on how to properly look at a authentication hologram to see if it's authentic or not. I also think it opens up the door for the industry to really, for fanatics, let's just call it what it is, to really bring back consumer confidence in this area Me personally, I have zero confidence in anything memorabilia right now. And there needs to be some consumer confidence rebuilt. And I think that should come through Fanatics, who holds the license and agreements with most of these players.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say, Victor, and you know this, I'm not telling you something you don't know. Everyone up here probably knows this. Any industry, any business where people can do something illegally to make money, whether it be Wall Street, real estate, it's going to happen, or it's going to be tried to occur. And that's the unfortunate thing, because when you have dollars involved, not everyone wants to make them the right way, right?
Yeah.
But you're right, Victor. There's got to be something more, right? We got to take it to the next level.
Correct.
You know, I think about people who make fake money, right? The FBI is in charge of staying ahead of those folks. It's a chess game. There's a new technology to make fake bills, and the FBI ups their game to kind of stay one step ahead of them. I think the hobby needs something along those similar lines. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying necessarily FBI, but the FBI is involved in this scandal now. This is a case there that's on their desk. So yeah, it's crazy. But
John, when it comes to the authenticity of memorabilia and the autographs portion side of it, I'm going to speak for myself and say that I'm ignorant on the topic. And the only reason why I'm ignorant on the topic is not because I'm not interested. It's because there's a lack of education out there. And that's how do we overcome ignorance in any category? It's education, education, education.
so are you saying you're going to be pivoting from doing rookie card content to regulation and autograph?
That's for somebody else.
Pivoting.
Chris, I kind of interrupted you.
Yeah. But there's kind of a class of consumer out there that really isn't buying these autographs for themselves. They're probably buying them for their loved ones. They may not be sports fans. How do you educate that person?
Yeah, that's tricky. I thought that's another one of the first things I thought of when this story broke, right? How many dads or moms or grandparents bought a Patrick Mahomes autographed item for their son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, assuming it was real. It was priced sort of as if it was real, and they gave it as a gift for whatever, a birthday or Christmas. And that young person in this scenario believes they have a Patrick Mahomes auto that may not be a Patrick Mahomes auto, and that's sad
Well,
commentary.
It
when
could
you
be a
think-
Patrick Mahomes auto. It could be his dad.
Yeah, can
You
can
know.
those parents adopt me, because his auto's expensive, right?
Well, listen,
I want one of them.
You only have to walk around the show 10 minutes, Alex, to know there's some serious cash exchange in hands. But yeah, Victor's right. You know, anything better that can make that process better. You know, my advice, and I do a little autograph stuff, more cards percentage-wise, but I do buy autograph stuff. Ask questions, right, if you're making a purchase. Check the cert. Make sure the number matches in the database, in the registry that's online. You know, I said I feel bad because they're going to get peppered with questions, but if you're buying it from a dealer, or whether it's here or in person or online, right, ask that person, can you give me some of the provenance of how you acquired this and that sort of thing. Do some research, especially if it's a bigger purchase, right? If it's high 3 figures, 4 figures, that's something that you should probably do your due diligence before you just hand over your hard-earned money. So for sure, it's you know, it's sad to see, but you know, it's probably not the last time it's going to happen, and hopefully not on this kind of magnitude when it does.
So, being a hobbyist for 54 years, unlike Victor, this really makes me mad.
You're old.
Yeah, we are old.
Thought I was-
But you know, I used to like it when I would see news articles or things on TV about cards. But now, you know, the other night I saw on the NBC Nightly News, Caitlin Clark rookie. $660,000. People are like, oh my gosh, that's the lure of easy money. You know, the hobby's become more mainstream. So you get this element that comes in thinking that they can trick people, they can take their money, and I see a lot of hobby greed that I don't like. And it's really, really upsetting to me. I want my hobby back. I don't like the way it's going and the direction that it's going. As far as you tell them.
Yeah.
But being a NASCAR guy, I feel bad for the people that have bought these autographs. Me personally, I don't think it really affects me because I don't buy any of those kind of autographs. But it's really a really bad deal. And I hope we can, like you said, Victor, educate people and get our arms around this and weed these people out and get rid of them because I'm tired of it. I mean, I'm honestly tired of it.
Yeah, Logan, and on the, as far as the education side, how do we get that out to the masses? In the world of social media, that should be fairly easy to do.
Yeah, but you're right, Victor. But like Logan said, you do have some people that they're not hobbyists per se, but they're transacting in the hobby. They're making a hobby purchase while they themselves may not be a hobbyist. So that's where the disconnect lies. And I'm not going to pound the table because it's not my table, but I'm mad too. I've been in the hobby, 40 years.
You can let your inner Howard
What is it?
feel
What
out,
is it too? What I want to know, what is it with this side of the three tables? It's like all the old people.
Brody, you gotta get over here. But you're on the wrong side,
yeah,
Brody.
Well, no, we're keeping them. We're keeping them because he brings the average age of this side of the table down, so we don't feel as bad. So we now have an average age of 32 years old on this side of the
Well,
table.
I heard we were running a 4v4 basketball game after this, so I just wanted to make sure that, I'm on this side, just so that way we Brody can come over here if he would like to, and just if he wants to be on the winning team.
last.
All right, let's from one great story to another one. Very few people who are active in the hobby don't have their cards graded or buy graded cards. And now there are people who deal in just raw cards, but the grading, as we all know, is a huge aspect of the hobby. It's a huge aspect of what we do up here, right? Full transparency, SGC is a sponsor of the Sports Card Nation podcast. I'm happy to say they re-upped through 2025, so got my fingers crossed. But, Peter Steinberg, who's a good friend of mine, and I know him real well through the years. And he recently stepped down. I'll just word it like that. Stepped down from SGC after 7 great years there and building a great company and a great brand. And, I'm sure everyone up here has heard all the speculation and rumors that this could be the end of SGC. I know Ryan Hoge went on another podcast and talked about making them sort of boutique, whatever that means. I don't know if you can get like a vintage dress there now. I really don't know what boutique means, but I love the brand. I loved the brand before they were sponsors, so that's not me shilling or being a homer. I used them before they were ever sponsored. Them and PSA, coincidence by there. And I don't want them to go away, and I think a lot of people don't want them to go away. A lot of people are mad at collectors for some decisions and how things have went. But, speaking from a selfish point of view, I want to see the brand live on. I bulk sub for them. They did away with those rates. It is what it is. I still do it at a different price level, but they've been around 20 plus years themselves, and I think having them part of the grading terrain is important, and I don't want to see them go away. Just some others thoughts here. Whoever wants to chime in, whether you want to make a prediction or what you think or how you feel.
Well, speaking as a former antitrust economist, when you have the dominant player in a marketplace buys out one of their competitors and all that's left are basically number 2 and number 4 now, that doesn't pass the smell test to me. And I know my former colleagues at my former employer have a lot better things to do right now with their time, but I'm surprised that this acquisition is past antitrust muster.
Yeah, listen, but there's other grading. I can see them from here. CGC, you have other.
Yeah, but you know that PSA grades what, 75-80% of the market.
Yeah, no, I don't completely disagree. I just don't. I don't know if there's enough there to build that. Lauren or Brody, we haven't really heard from you. I'm going to put you on the spot here to chime in.
I'm ready. Yeah, I like SGC actually. I know PSA is the popular one. There's a couple things I personally don't prefer PSA. I don't like the sliding scale pricing. I'm not a big fan of that. That they evaluate the price of your card and it's purely subjective based on them. I don't like that there's no transparency about the grade. You don't know the breakdown of why you got a 9 instead of a 10 or why a beautiful card is now graded a PSA 6. I don't love that. I personally had a card that I pulled that was really big for me, a Coco Gauff Gold, and it was the same week that she won the US Open, and that was huge for me. And we submitted it to PSA, and they, which we don't usually grade, but we were like, this is a big card for us. We'll put it in PSA slab and lock it up. And we got an email that it was a 10, but they damaged it in the sealing process, and now it's an 8. And that's a PC card that is very personal to me. That is now, it has a story behind it, but not a good one. It had a great story behind it, and now it's womp womp. So I didn't mean for this to turn into a rant against PSA, but I'm not a fan. So my point being, in relation to SGC, I love SGC. I think their pricing is good. I like their slabs. The turnaround time is good. I do live in Florida, so it's pretty great for me. And I think it's good to have diversity because people have different preferences. And there's different card designs and stuff. People sometimes like the aesthetics better of SGC or Beckett versus PSA. Or CGC, and I like SGC. I hope that they stick around. I know that it's a behemoth going up against PSA. If anybody could do it, it'd be Beckett, and it's hard. It's a hard market, but I think you got to stick with what you love and support the companies that support you back. And I ride for SGC. I like SGC a lot, and I'm not opposed to PSA. I know that that's the standard and people love it, but for me personally, I will not submit a card to PSA again. That's just personally how I feel. So I hope SGC thrives and sticks around. So.
Yeah, so I'm not personally a person that grades that much. I buy graded cards, but I think in the long run we need as many companies possible. More grading companies, the better, especially since I would think it's fair to say SGC's number 2 or number 3. And, I want the quality control of the top companies to stay well. And I don't think it's crazy to say that ever since Topps has extended their deal and is soon to get the football and basketball deals, the quality control hasn't been as good as before. And I think a lot of people have noticed that with the $300 Topps Chrome boxes that aren't guaranteeing you a number card. We need competition or else the whole hobby can become a monopoly.
Yeah, I agree. Well said, Brody. Keep I hope they keep SGC around and let people make that choice, right? There's rumors that they want SGC to be like their vintage end. I'm not opposed to that. I'd rather that than them phase them out. At least they're still around, and I do a lot of vintage, so it's right in my wheelhouse, if you will. But we'll see. But time will tell. I thought it was a good sign when they re-upped through the end of the year. So I'm assuming that means we'll have them at least in 2025, and then we'll see what 2026 brings.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm come originally from, like, playing sports video games, like the cards in the video games, and eventually I was like, there's got to be a way to trade cards in real life and make money from it. So, like, the one thing that everyone complains about in the video game industry is just, like, the exclusive publishers like EA and, like, Sony that make the MLB game. They can just come out with the same game, basically. I mean, that's what they've been doing. They come out with a new engine every 5-10 years or so. But, like, if you were to play Madden, 25 versus Madden 21, it's the same exact game. So it's... They come out with the new features, which is good, but I think, like Brody was saying, I just think, like, we need as many companies, we need to give collectors the option to choose what grading card company they can go to. I mean, I think at this point it's maybe a little bit too late for them to choose, like, what cards they want to buy, because Topps and Fanatics are buying all those licenses. But I think the more options for collectors is going to just ultimately be, it's going to lead to a healthier market where there's not only one option, you have multiple options.
Yeah, for sure, and well, time will tell, right? I think they're safe for 25. I'll go out on that limb, and I get asked all the time between them being a sponsor, me using them, bulk subbing, and I really don't have, as crazy as it sounds, I don't have any insider trading. I kind of Chris said, like, you can kind of see how this goes with other mergers and acquisitions. But all right, let's go on to a little more positive stuff now. Let's get some national talk in here. The national this year expanded. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't add any commentary. I'm going to acquiesce to the panel up here. But they had I think 75 more dealers with a limit of one table. They are all new dealers from what I'm being told. So some new blood for those that like new blood and see some new selections and new showcases. I think that's good, right? I fall on both sides. I think someone who's done the show for 40 years should get to continue to do the show. Be loyal to who have helped build your show, right? I promoted a few shows back in the day. If someone did every show I did, they're automatically, as long as they want to be in the next show. I think that's how it should be. But it's nice to see them sort of expand, add some more room, add some more fresh faces, some new dealers. I have not seen the area yet. I will, obviously, but has anybody on the panel seen it, and your thoughts on it?
I mean, I'll say my husband and I are... Hi, Samuel. Samuel's here. I will say we are one of the new vendors, and we are very stoked and very grateful that we are able to get in here. And it's been bonkers for us. We've done Dallas. We did Fanatics Fest.
So you're set up there?
Yes. Yeah, we're over there, kind of like next to Panini. So we're not upstairs, which everybody go check out upstairs. Also, if you didn't know, there are more booths upstairs, so check that out. But we're over that way, and it's awesome. It's great. I agree with you that the people who built this show do deserve to keep their spot if they want it. I think that's really important. And there's people that this is a Super Bowl for us. So there are people that this is the only time of year that you see these people, and it might be you might have been coming here for 45 years, and you want to see that person. You want to check in with them, see what they're up to, see what they've got, see what your collections look like. That's important, and that's an important part of the hobby community, I think. But as somebody who is coming in new and fresh, I really appreciate that opportunity to become the future fabric of that. Because it's very hard to get in here, and we don't take that for granted. And I think it is important to make room for people where you can, because and there are bad actors who just hold their table down, or they sell it for an astronomical price or whatever. And I know that's few and far between, but I think it's good that they're making way for the future. I know the National has also really stepped up their social media and their outreach, their email marketing, their influencers. I mean, it's very important and very helpful to push the hobby forward, and I think it's making for a better show, personally.
So Hobby Hotline just made its first in-game trade. Here's the trade as announced. We traded Alex Tressler for Mr. Samuel Evans and a player to be named later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with that part. But I'm not kidding. Mr. Samuel Evans is here. I have him introduce yourself. I know I just gave you one, but you'll do a better one than I just did. So.
What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone is having an amazing 45th National. This is my second National. Cleveland was my first one. This is my first time in Chicago for the National. And I'm excited to see where the National goes over the next couple of years, especially with all the...
It's not going anywhere, Samuel.
Yeah.
It's staying right.
I'm excited to see where it goes, because over the next couple of years, there's so many amazing programs that's coming. We're building out educational program through these specific 4 pillars of collecting, and it's going to be amazing to see how the next generation of collectors, take the hobby to the next level, and not just from like the collecting side, but the other side, the industry side, the entrepreneurial side, and then that sustainability piece, and just making sure that there's access points for everyone to appreciate and explore this thing that we all love. Because just on this table there are collectors who've been in this space, sitting in this room, collectors who've been in this space for longer than I've been alive, and it's just amazing to see the National have that forward thinking about like how can we nurture and create access points for the next generation of collectors so they can carry the torch one day. And it's amazing. And
yeah, this side of the table, Samuel, we're on our way out. Not Brody, but the rest of us. So you weren't here, but all the old guys sort of just migrated to this side of the table. But we recruited Brody to bring our average age down to like 32.
And not to get on my soapbox, but I'm an educator by day. I'm a principal. I'm a middle school principal. This is like my passion. And it's awesome that I get to combine my professional, what I do as a professional, with my personal passion as a collector, a storyteller. And I just want to say, in this room, there are going to be thousands and thousands of people coming in and out of this building every day. And just take the time to stop and check in with someone and meet someone new and learn their cardboard story. And you never know, from that connection, the friendships, the lifelong friendship, the connection that you might build with that person, and next thing you know, you're waiting to meet and see them at the National every year.
Yeah, the National for me, we've come to call it a family reunion. I think this is my 21st National. I've lost count. But I see people in the crowd. There's Jeremy Lee out there. I saw Rob and Ivan over here. Just people that I really love, and I only get to see them once a year. So for me, the National, like I said, is just a big family reunion. There are cards involved as well, but it's a lot of fun. I'm glad to see the crowds. I can remember when this room was just the National. We didn't have the cubby hole. We didn't have anything over there on the other side. Nothing upstairs. It's amazing how well it's grown. It's my favorite venue. I like coming here better than anything, and I wish that I would love to see it stay here and have its permanent home here, but I know that's not going to happen. No.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'd like to make 2 points about the National. First is seniority. I can respect the hierarchy of dealers that are tenured and protecting their rights to first dibs. But being in Chicago, we're a strong union organization, and as a railroad worker myself, I understand the importance of seniority and agreements, but at the same time, in my line of work, there's a thing called apprentices, and I think that's the one thing that the National has been lacking. But this year, with the upstairs and the additional 75 dealers that are up there, I think that's a nice pool that we can term as apprentices. So if there's a spot that opens up down here in the main stage, we have a pool of dealers that have paid their dues, and we can now transition them into the main stage down here. And I don't know, it's just me thinking in that aspect. The other thing that is the entire town of Rosemont, Illinois. I did a Google search this morning. There are 41 hotels in Rosemont, Illinois. This entire town has been built for this convention center.
Yep.
And that's what makes this convention center so special.
Yeah, I agree. I think the National in Chicago is definitely a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one moment. Walking in here 2 days before the show started just to see the room for the first time, and then coming back to see people in here, you know, I was just in awe of everything and just taking it all in. So it's definitely a one-on-one moment.
It does need to come back to the East Coast, though.
You ever think, like, we see new companies, we see new dealers now, as Lauren pointed out, and is participating in that with her husband itself. Do you think there's potential? Like, I know you just said, Victor, was built for this. Can you get to a point where this convention center might not be built for this anymore? Maybe the hotels are okay. You know, can we outgrow the building? I know that's why they don't have it in certain other cities, because the building. Oh, that's bad words to me. If we were actually debating, we'd be at different podiums there. Than two nationals. I think the bloom comes off the rose. I think when you have two of something, you know, it's like 2 of 2 or 1 of 1, right? Which holds more caveat. I only want to see one national, unless you call it something else. I mean, we do have big other shows, right? With you know, Dallas Card Show, Victor, you know, and Brody know the Spectacular, which is held in this building itself. You know, I know it's a different show, but we got Fanatics Fest. So I don't want to see two nationals, but if they want to do something along those lines, maybe that, but not called, you know, National 1 and National 2.
It could be the Nationals, John.
Where's Suze? Where's Suze? If you can hear me, I hope you're enjoying the Nationals.
Yeah, she's over there. We actually talked about that yesterday.
Her spidey senses went up.
I haven't seen her yet. Else want to see two nationals?
One national.
I would probably just extend it. I mean, even if you go like Sunday to Sunday, you add the previous Sunday and then Monday, Tuesday, and then extend Wednesday to not just a sneak peek, maybe, I don't know, hypothetically do a sneak peek on the Sunday. That would probably be the way to go, but I also think once you start adding those days, the crowds will definitely start to thin out, because you're going to have people who can't come out for the whole week, like, or at least they can't come out for the full, like, Sunday to Sunday. I mean, you know, obviously the dealers and all of the hobby shops, like, and I mean, that's probably another thing. There's probably hobby shops that are here that their whole staff is here, so, like, they can't. Hypothetically, yeah, they're maybe making a decent amount of money here, but like the amount of money that they have to pay and the amount of money that it takes for travel and then travel for everybody, I don't know if it's logistically possible for certain hobby shops to close down for the whole week and for you know, miss out on some of that revenue that
does happen though. I'm not saying every store is closed here, but there are some that are here that are, you know, have a sign on their door say, National Week, see you Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's right. That's exactly.
I think to that point, right? We all want to stay in Candyland forever, but we can't, right? And we got to get back to reality eventually. But I do think the commitment that the National is making in terms of its media content and a way to, like, how can we keep the National at the forefront of everybody's mind leading up to this magical week throughout the year. And there's a lot of cool projects and a lot of things that's in the works where you'll be able to have those exploratory moments throughout the calendar months leading up to this magical week that we all look forward to every year. Whereas though, like, you know what's happening, you can hear amazing stories, you know, you get this idea of who's going to be here, and it's just another way to have that exploration with the National, even though you're not physically in the building, but it's the lead up, the build up to it. And I think the commitment that they're making with media and making sure the National stays at the forefront of our minds is gonna help that.
Yeah, I agree, right? A lot with content creation, right? People love that stuff. I know that firsthand. I'm a benefactor of that firsthand, you know, being transparent. But we're creating that content. Like Sam, everyone up here creates content that promotes the hobby. And it's free promotion, right? We're not charging. If you know where to send a bill to the hobby, let me know the address. I'm kidding, but we're promoting the hobby, right? And that's important. And so, like Samuel said, it's nice that they sort of see that and are comfortable and good with that, and sort of reciprocating that love, if you will.
And they also doing it, they're thinking about it from a diverse perspective. So, like, everyone can have their own point of view on how they want to explore the hobby. Because, yes, we're all in here for cards, but we all explore the hobby in our own unique way. And they're really thinking about that, so that way everyone has an avenue to consume the content that best suits them and what they want to enjoy.
So I know what Victor, and we do this question, I feel like we do this question every year when we're up here. And, you know, it's in Chicago the next 2 years as well. What I want to know, do they leave everything here for the year and just come back? I'm kidding. I know there are other events here. But who here would want it to just be here every year? I know Logan said, yeah. See, I'm an East Coast guy. Like, I love this venue. I love Chicago. I enjoy all the stuff even outside the show, whether it be a sporting event. I like to eat. I know that's hard to believe when you look at me because I'm very thin. But I love the restaurants, right? But, you know, this National always costs me a little bit more money. I'm not trying to have a pity party, maybe a little bit. I'll start a GoFundMe, but I have to fly, rent a car.
Cash donations after the show.
So it does cost me a little bit more money to make the trip. I'm still going to do it, but I have a little less money to buy cards, so that's where the pity party comes in. But I'll still get those too. I like to see it move around. I know we're not going to see it in Cleveland now. Walmart bought that building, for those that don't know. I know people don't like the city of Atlantic City, but I'm not going there for the casino. I'm going there for this show. Yeah. I'd love to see it come back. It's a 5-hour drive for me. But even another, it doesn't have to be Atlantic City, somewhere on the East Coast. You know, Samuel's Philly guy, Chris.
That's my dream, Philadelphia, but it'll never happen.
You got Philly. Well, what about Baltimore? What about Baltimore, right? Yeah. What about, I've heard Nashville be brought up before. That's a city that's really growing by leaps and bounds. I'm being told, I've never been there, I'm being told they have a pretty large convention center, much on par with the one we're in here today. So maybe Nashville. And someone told me, is this true? Somebody told me that the voting is done for the 2028, and Atlanta beat Detroit. Is that right?
Well,
Breaking
there's a
news.
banner in the VIP area that says, "Congratulations, Atlanta 2028."
Really?
Wow. Everyone, like all the leader in the clubhouse was Detroit. I was almost raking my reservations for Detroit, And then I heard this news, and Chris, you saw the banner.
I saw the banner.
So apparently, well, the verdict is in 2028. Going to be a southern national in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't mind that. Like either Detroit or Atlanta. I like seeing different cities, right? So it's been in Atlanta, but it's been over 20 years, I'm being told, for Atlanta. So they're getting it back again. So if you're going to the 2028 National, you're headed to Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I think it being in the middle of the country makes a lot of sense, just because you can come from either side. You can come from either coast and get here. I mean, Chicago, there's hundreds and thousands of flights every single day, so like it's a little bit easier to get in. Like I know Atlantic City, you had to like fly to. Yeah, you couldn't fly directly there, so like that was kind of one of the big issues. I mean, Atlanta, that's another huge airport, so I'm sure the flights are going to be cheap there, as long as the weather is not like, because summers in Atlanta can get up to like 110. It's super hot. It's hot down there.
Well, I will say this: the AC in here is great so far. I don't want to jinx it and say it too loud. So they've proven that they can pull off AC. Wi-Fi seems okay as well. So. Maybe they figured stuff out. So Atlanta is hot, but inside, hopefully it's not. Or it'll be hot. The show will be hot.
Right.
Hopefully the room won't be.
Yeah, and Dallas, I think would be. It's the infrastructure is already there for that. I don't know if the Dallas Card Show would not want the National in Dallas, just because it's like then they're kind of competing. Which I mean. They are competing, but at the same time they're not, because it's like people who are going to the Dallas show are still people who are going to the National also. So, like I said, middle of the country I think is probably the best bet. That way you can get the West Coast people coming in, you get the East Coast, you get maybe people in like Texas and down south as well.
See, I feel bad for people on the West Coast, because I know you got the Burbank Card Show, which is a big show, but national-wise, you're always traveling. Like Chicago is the closest to home at this point. The National is for you. Us East Coast guys sort of have our cake and eat it too, right? This is the furthest we've had to go, and we can do it, or most of us can do it, and then we can get it even closer. It's nice to see again Atlanta with them winning the dealer vote. So now we'll have it in the South, but it would cost me even more money than Chicago already does, but I would still attend a West Coast show. I've never been
Anaheim,
that far.
I know they used to do it in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, what about Seattle? Huge sports town now with the NHL and obviously baseball. And I would love to see it in Seattle or Portland.
Here's what we should do. We should just keep saying different cities, so that way people in the crowd, like we got the Seattle guy who's like, yeah, Seattle.
How about Syracuse, New York?
How about Kansas City?
Milton, Delaware.
Have we heard that they're
Omaha, Nebraska? I know. Ivan would vote for that one.
Have we heard that they're going to still rotate and Chicago be every other year, or are they going to start just doing new cities every year?
I don't know. What's 2029? Back to Chicago? I guess we'll know maybe even after this show what the next year on the table is, or if it may not even be on the table, it may just be Chicago. I think Chicago, like everyone up here said, is sort of the
flagship.
The flagship of the National, right? That's a good way to put it, Victor. So I think you'll see it here more in comparison to other cities, but I like that we'll still be able to see it in other cities, be it Atlanta or Detroit, which lost. Sorry, Detroit. No offense, you're used to losing. No, I'm just kidding. If you're from Detroit, my name is Bob Smith. No, but no, I like to see it move around too. I love to see it, come back to the East Coast even. Nashville, I know I mentioned. You got Texas. Even if it's not Dallas, what about Houston? Right? Texas is a big state.
Yep.
It's not just Dallas. I know that's a big part of Texas, but you got Houston, San Antonio. You got other bigger cities there. So I like to see different towns, different venues. So I have no problem with Chicago. Vegas, they did the Mint Collective there for a few years. I don't know. I got to think there's a convention center in Vegas that can hold the event. So that's a good one by
Just do it
Adam.
at the Sphere.
Yeah, and you two will play while we buy cards. So, and they can do the song. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, and they have a double meaning, sort of like what I haven't found that card. But no, I hope it does. Hit other venues, hit other cities. Congrats to Atlanta. Would you change? I know we're sort of got a few minutes left. This for anybody. Would you change anything? Like, would you take something away or add to anything to make the National better than it already is? Or did they nail it?
I think maybe move the autographs upstairs and bring all the dealers down here and be in one spot. I think that would be something they could do.
Bring back free parking for VIPs, especially here.
Have Gibson's cater. That would be one of my improvement, maybe.
Yeah, I'll sign the petition on all of those. But still, obviously, it's a great event. Like Logan said, I've stole his line even on my contact, right? The Hobby family reunion. I don't know if I'm the first to say it. I always call it the Hobby Super Bowl of the hobby. It's fun. That's why we're all here. That's why there's so many people here. It's the week we circle on the calendar. We already know what the dates are next year, right? And so does my employer. They know I won't be at work that week. So it's fun. I want to thank everyone up here for being part of this show and this panel, not just today, but even when we're on our regular content schedule. I want to thank the powers that be here at the National for letting us do this every year. I know we've done this quite a bit now, but it's still an honor and a privilege and a lot of fun to share the stage with some great folks. So check out their content individually as well. Check out Hobby Hotline. We might have some news coming down the turnpike. We'll see how that goes. There's some stickers up here and some keychains. They are free. Help yourself. Anyone want any parting words?
I think Chris should take us out.
Yeah, Chris, what do you always say at the end of the show?
Oh yeah, you want me to do the gimmick?
Do it,
Neil Young.
Do it.
Keep on rocking to the free world, folks.
There you go. Thank you. All right, don't go away. My podcast, Sports Card Nation, is next. I'm joined by two guys named Tony. I'll introduce them more formally. Tony Square. We're going to talk some vintage. We're going to talk some national and some vintage cards. So that's if you like either one of those things, you might like the show. If you like Tony, the national, or vintage cards, you're in for a treat. All right. All right, now it works. You got to turn them on. Did I get that one? All right, if you were here for the previous show, you might remember my name's John Newman, Sports Card Nation podcast, and that's what this segment of the onstage is going to be. I'm joined by two better-looking gentlemen than me, so that part's good. Both named Tony, and I'm going to introduce them in alphabetical order. To be fair, that way there's no fights up here, and we avoid that. But I'm kidding. They both like each other, but they're actually in alphabetical order to my left. First, Tony DiMarzio. There is. I sometimes forget, but there's a space between the E and the M, and he yells at me when I forget, so I won't do it anymore. TJ is online, is where you can find him on the interwebs, and to his left, Southern Collector, Mr. Tony Liebrick, and producing some great content. And we're going to talk some national. We're going to talk some vintage. I don't know if there's people here for either one of those, but that's what we're going to tackle on today's program. I'm going to start out, guys. You know, for me, I can only speak for myself here. I have a limited, like a lot of people or most people, I have a limited budget. One of the things I've done before the national is like 3 months before, sometimes 2 months before, I really stop buying any cards of significance. I'm not saying I don't buy any cards, but anything of real big, lots of money, if you will, or significant money, and I kind of save up to bring it to this event, knowing with a list of 5 to 8 cards. Does your approach change for a show like this in comparison to maybe a local show or a show you're doing or attending on the local level?
That's a great question. So this is my third national. Second, I attended with my son Anthony, who's sitting in the first row. My first national was a 1988 one. It was in Atlantic City, and that's really my father started talking about, saving money for the baseball greats, but I was too busy buying 87 Flair rack packs and grabbing Wally Joyner and those other types of cards. But with that, and remembering how that was and how last year went, I always tried to save up my budget for the hobby, especially for the national. But it's hard because you have wonderful regional shows like the Philly show, you have the Chantilly show, and the Boston Shriners. So it's difficult, but you do try to change your approach. But every now and then you get the occasional auction or a friend recommends a card that you can find prior to the national, and before you know it, your national budget's gone. So it's just something that we have to be aware of.
Credit card.
Yeah.
Tony Squared, I guess we'll call it Tony Liebrick.
Yeah, so this is only my second national. Now, I've gone to I'm in Nashville, and we have a pretty good show there that has a lot of the national dealers that I go to, but I more budget my money towards when I get word that there's a big card that I want that fits in my lane that doesn't come up very often. That's what I kind of save my budget towards. The national is more of a buying opportunity, but I don't come here searching for big cards because even though there's some here, I don't want to carry that much cash on me. And also, sometimes this can be sensory overload for me. And then on days like today when it's so crowded, you can't even get to a table to see what's there. So when I know there's an auction coming, and if any of you guys watch me, you know what my lanes are, and there's different ones. But when I see a certain card that's going to be a big dollar card, I'll kind of pause. So I'm not spending a lot of money here. Well, in my terms, it's all relevant. But when I've pretty much spent my wad on this already, and I'm just going to hang out with buddies. But I'm saving my money for this card that's coming up that I got word that's going to be out there, and I'm going to make a good run at it. I might not get it, but I'm at least putting myself in the ball game.
Yeah, even it's good points there, right? And we forget about I bet on stuff in the auction house too. It's a good opportunity, and sometimes even save a few bucks from the National Sticker Shock in some cases as well. Things I do, I'm a dealer, so I do shows. I do about 2 shows every month. So if I have a really good show, obviously I put my sales tax. I know the IRS is here, so I put some of my sales tax to the side in an envelope, and then I put some extra money. That's basically for this week, right? For the National. A buddy of mine was always going to Vegas a lot, and I'm, middle class, not rich, and I'm like, how are you going to Vegas so much? And he's like, hey, I do what's called a dollar envelope, John. And I said, well, explain that to me. And he says, every day I get home and I know I'm not going back out. I'm in for the night. Whatever ones are in my pocket, I just throw them in an envelope and forget about them. And I do that every day. And he goes, at the end of that year, some years I have like 4 figures, like $1,100, $1,200, and I don't even I saved that without even really realizing it. He goes, you ought to do it. So I've done it for like 8 years. I actually did that before the National, before my first National. And the first year I did it, I think I had $1,100 in that envelope. It didn't feel like I was like putting $1,100 aside, right? That's a nice card. And so I've done it every year since then. And my lowest has been like 400. Bad 1 year apparently that year, and then my highest has been 1,600. Wow. And you don't even notice it, and that's just extra card money, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, my content creation, full disclosure, I don't do it for this reason, but it does generate some funds. So that goes right back in the hobby, whether it be for the show or for cards that I buy that I can talk about on the show. And so it's just a cycle like that as well. So those are just some things how you could save. I'll throw that out there. I know we're early in the show here, guys. Kind of your early thoughts on what you've seen so far here.
Like you, I also have an envelope where I, save money every month. But what happens is I keep a top 15 list on my phone using iOS notes about the cards I like. And the challenging thing, maybe for the both of you also, is when a card comes up at auction or you see it online, and then you have to dig into that envelope, which is your National money, because then if you don't, then you're taking money out of an account that you don't want to. So what do you do in those situations?
So I think I might be the stupid guy up here because I just don't buy anything for 3 months. When I say anything, I mean anything of like big time cards. So and now that I think about it, I'm kind of sad because that means I can only buy these really nice cards 9 of the 12 months. But it's so I can come here and so what for me, Tony, I come in here, and you know this, but for those listening, and this will come out in audio at later on too, is I come into this show with a list of like 5 to 8, I'll say items because they're not always all cards. Like one of the items on this year's want list, if you will, is a Jackie Robinson auto. So it's not necessarily a card, but so I come into the show with 5 to 8 items. I'm not going to get every item. I know that. And the budget wouldn't allow that if I found them all even at a decent price. So I come in with the target of getting 2 or 3 of them. If I can get 2 or 3 of them, for me, that's a successful. It's not that it's a not like if you come here and don't have fun, no matter what, you did something wrong. But from the card aspect, if I can pick off 2 or 3 out of that list of 5 to 8, I look at that as a successful venture, at least in the card hunting portion of it. Some years I've done better than others. Some years I found it found a decent card early. Most years it seems like it's Friday or Saturday before I find or may pull the trigger on something. Even this year, I'm purchasing a 33 Gaudi Jimmy Fox. It's a prearranged deal, but I have yet to meet up with the gentleman I'm buying it from. So it's a done deal. We just gotta make the exchange of card and money. So for me, I hope to come out of here with 2 or 3 cards, and then after the show, everything's sort of back to normal. I take that 3-month sabbatical is off, and away we go again.
Yeah.
But for you, what's your approach like coming into the show? Do you have Tony? You said you have sort of a list of things you're looking for. Do you? Sometimes I've been told like it's better to almost not have a list and just whatever hits your eye. How do you approach your buying at the National, Tony?
So I don't really have a physical list. I just kind of know what I need. Now, I do have a list. Like, I look at the National like this is an opportunity to pick up cards. It's a buying opportunity. I'm building the 1915 Cracker Jack set right now. And the commons just don't come up all the time. You can pick up the Hall of Famers in auctions and things like that, but the common Cracker Jacks, and they're going to run you $200 to $300 a pop, but you just can't find them. And so this is an opportunity to have some really good dealers with a great collection of Cracker Jacks. So I've actually already made sure I did it early before they got gone, but I bought 11. And so I've got those 11. I've already put them in the safe in the room. And so that's what I looked at this. Now, the main thing for the National to me is the opportunity to hang out with buddies. It's a social thing. We have the YouTube event tonight, and you get to see all the guys that you talk to on a regular basis and hang out and have a good time. And so it's things like that. I'm going to a dinner tomorrow night and hanging out with a bunch of buds. So it's just a buying opportunity. So I budget a certain amount every month that I'm willing to spend, but I have a slush fund at the same time. So if something comes up that doesn't come up all the time and it's right before the National, I'll grab it. So this is an example of one.
That's a terrible card.
It's a rookie Hank Aaron, which obviously you can see it from 8 rows back. But what's really, I'm one of my lanes is autograph vintage. And so I love autograph vintage cards. This one has been JSA certified, it just hasn't been slabbed. But what's really special about this one is it's an ink pen rookie year autograph, because like Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron's autograph changed over time. And there's only maybe 3 of these that fit into that category. So when this one came up, I grabbed it because it fits in my lane and I'm not ever going to see it again. So when things like that happen, I'm blessed enough to own my own business. So sometimes I can dip into the business kitty, bonus a little money out. Not everybody has that opportunity. So I know that. So, I'm very blessed in that standpoint. But I will do that. But going into this, I sold some cards. So I sold some cards. We're having the vintage trade night Saturday night. I got a stack of Gaudis that I'm going to sell that are going to fund those Cracker Jacks that I bought today and last night. So I do that too. I use my cards as a way to fund my buying. So that's important to me.
And just a quick correction, there is no common card in the 1914 or 15 Cracker Jack set.
I'm working on the 1982. No, I'm kidding. No, obviously that's a great set. That goes without saying. And once it's complete, Tony, it's that's the thing. Sometimes we forget about, right? The journey to completion, or the journey of an acquisition, right? The stories along the way to the people, like Tony Liebrick said, right? The people we get to meet and become friends with. And share, while we share this common bond of card collecting, we get to know them. I get to know people, and I'm sure I speak for these 2 gentlemen. I've gotten to know people on a deeper level than just the cards, right? That's only the surface, but you get to know them, the person, and their even families and things they do besides cards. And you know, sometimes something bad might happen, and maybe you can be there for them in those times as well. And so,
and John, let me break in real quick.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
A perfect example of that was Orlando.
Exactly.
And him going through his diagnosis, and it's so scary, and the YouTube community just banded together. Everybody, we did a video. I kind of rounded people up. I think we ended up with like 40 people saying good best wishes to Orlando. That he was being prayed for, and that was a positive thing for Orlando to get through it. I wouldn't have known Orlando without this. There's a couple guys in this audience right now. Nate in Cardboard Veritas. And Matthew, 1956 Top Scott, and there's Jonathan
hiding over there.
So those guys I met through my Instagram family before I ever did YouTube, and this is the first time I've met them today in person. So, you know, this is a fun thing, but it's a hobby inside a hobby, and you meet people who are really awesome people, and they're real friendships. So, you know, that's the reason, one of the big reasons I'm here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say, and the friendships, and at least I think we all could say, everyone here, like we could talk more about items and topics and conversations outside of the hobby, like nothing about baseball cards, or, you know, we end up talking about family and sports and what's going on with the kids and just, you know, jobs, and I like that, the best part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, speaking of Orlando, he's doing better and doing well, right? And he did a video. I think a lot of people have seen it. And I joke with him now. You know, I didn't tell him this before his surgery, but like, not a lot of hobby content hits me where like tears are going down my face. I cry. I don't want to make it out like I never cry, but I'm not a big crier. But watching that video, it's scary, right? It's scary, no matter who you are. And if you know Orlando, you know he speaks from the heart. You know he's a sincere guy. I know that video probably wasn't easy for him to make. I know he got emotional during it. And I'm sitting there in my office/studio. Thank God my wife didn't walk in, say, what the hell's going on in here? But I was crying because Orlando's a friend of mine, and I was worried about him. And anytime you hear that C word, right, I don't care what kind, it's a scary thing. And when you care about people and you worry about people, just as a human being, you know, even if you don't know someone and you hear that, right, your heart goes out to them. But when you know them, it's to a different level. And you know, it was almost, you know, I don't know about you guys even watching it, like I almost felt it was like a goodbye just in case video. And I'm like, man, I don't even if I thought that was like, I don't think I could do that. And you know, but you know, right now we have a happy ending. He's doing well, and so that's good. But that's a great example, Tony, of just where these relationships go besides cards, right? They go to deep personal levels, as they should, and that's the fun part. And that's what makes the National so great, right? Seeing people again, or meeting people like for the first time. And either way, it's fun. Doesn't matter, right? The events outside the show, whether it be a vintage trade night, a trade night, a dinner, watching the White Sox. I'm still waiting for my check to watching the White Sox play. I'm kidding. Unfortunately, Tony, to my left here is Phillies lost. I brought him bad luck. But here's another thing. You can be adversarial and be good friends, right? Yep. I'm a Mets fan, and he's a Phillies fan, and I think we get along pretty good, being the case, right? And I was a White Sox fan last night because the Mets keep losing right now to the Padres. But okay, you know, we talked about buying. What are some straight, like Tony Lieberg, you said, like, I don't like to bring a lot of money. There's a lot of people that would probably echo that sentiment. I don't bring a Brinks truck, but I like to have cash. I think sometimes, you know, as a dealer myself, right, when I'm set up, I don't set up here at the National, but when I set up at the shows that I do, right, cash sort of, you know, the old saying, right, cash is king.
Yeah.
It's true. Like Mr. Mint, Alan Rosen made a career out of bringing briefcase and got steals of deals because people could smell that and it was right in front of them. Well, that really is true. Like someone offers me cash at a show, that sort of trumps an online payment form or whatnot. Maybe they're both the same, but seeing it and smelling it, there's something about that. Do you think like not carrying as much cash, is it a disadvantage or maybe not as much as I'm making it out to be?
I like a combination of that approach. I'm here with my son for the second straight national, and I don't feel too comfortable about having him carry large amounts of cash because, younger guys today, they like to wear, the mesh shorts with the pants, pockets aren't that deep, and you're always just worried about, backpack picking. But with the forms of payments with Zelle and PayPal, friends and family, and even goods and services, it's a nice option, but especially with vintage dealers, they rather deal in cash. When it comes to the dealers who I go see with Anthony, they're more into the Zelle and the PayPal and the Venmo. So it's kind of a mixed bag, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have both. So I'll have some cash, and then I obviously have PayPal and Zelle and other things. Credit cards, worst case scenario.
Checks too.
I don't bring those. I use them at home though, but kids today, Tonys, don't know how to write any of those anymore.
Yeah,
it's a lost art. Yeah. So, there's different combinations. Obviously, you can trade cash and trade, pay money platforms, and that sort of thing. But and I always say with credit cards, right? Be careful. Sometimes it's easy to do. Like, I'll just pay it off or I'll pay it back. And, the next thing you know, the bill comes in the mail, right? It's funny because when you use your credit card, you get the item, whatever it is you're buying, and you don't feel like you spent anything because you didn't yet. And then the bill comes in your mail like, oh, they didn't forget about when I bought that.
Yeah.
So always a cautionary tale, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great tool to use, but know that just because you didn't plunk down any commerce and coin that at the exchange, the day still comes when it's time to pay the piper. So I've had people on my show that were very honest and said, I got in trouble, John, doing that. I ran up a 5-figure bill and really was stressing, like, how am I going to pay this? Or even, my wife sees it. I'm in the doghouse or worse,
Yep.
A lawyer's house. But for me too, one of the things, I did my first show as a dealer at 15 years old in 1987 in New York, and I made $1,500. And $1,500 in 1987 is more than $1,500 today. And $1,500 today is still $1,500. And I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandma said, you can't walk around with that. You got to start a bank account and put it in the bank. So that's what we did. And I've had the same, it's switched banks, but I've literally had the same account. And it's where all my dealer money goes, my taxes, and my content creation stuff goes. And when I was dating my wife, she wasn't my wife yet, obviously. We were engaged. And she asked me, we're at the dinner one night, she goes, John, what are you doing with your business account? And I said to her, what do you mean, what am I doing with my business account? She said, well, marriage is a partnership. And I'm like, I agree with you, marriage is a partnership. I'm like, what are you bringing to the business of cards? And, well, I don't know anything about that. And I could tell, she actually was a little peeved. Not like it wasn't a fight or nothing, but she was a little peeved. And, I said, today you may not get it, but someday you will. I'll make this longer story shorter. Many, many moons later, I bought a Jackie Robinson Leaf Rookie. That was my Grail card. It came. She's not a card person, but I did show her that card. I like, hey, hon, I got my Grail card to Jackie Robinson Rookie. Showed it to her, and she never really asked, like, hey, how much did you make at the show, or what did that card cost you? but she goes, can I ask what that cost? And then I told her, like $7,700. And her jaw hit the floor. And she goes, one card? Like she doesn't, like many of us here understand it, she doesn't. She goes, one piece of cardboard, that much? And I'm like, well, in this case, and I get, I did the whole explaining that at any point you can sell that and liquidate it, so it's just money in a different form. And she gets it now, but that moment she didn't. But I also said to her, Tony, I'm like, now you're probably glad I have that business account, because that $7,700 did not come from our joint account. So that, even that approach as well, for some, if you can do that, even having a separate account where you don't upset your home life potentially, if you can do that, and that sort of thing. I see Tony's got some cards here. We saw Tony Liebrick's Hank Aaron, awesome card. We talk about, with vintage, right? Certain players, certain cards sort of are better values, if you will, than others. Like we may love them all, and I do, but there's certain cards that, certain cards we all know. Like one off the top of my head is the low-hanging fruit, right? Mickey Mantle never goes down, right? And if anything, always going to have an up arrow, or always you're rarely going to lose or sell it for less than you paid for it. Talk about that aspect when you're acquiring cards, looking long term, when maybe there comes a day, like Tony said, like he sells cards to buy new ones. You both do. I do that as a dealer when I set up at shows. But talk about certain aspects or certain players and cards of the hobby sort of being better for that long term, if you will.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So when it comes to any kind of cards, and this is going to hit home to the modern collectors and even the vintage collectors like us, who remember how our childhoods went, and we have children ourselves. When you buy sports cards, I think you need to think of it as any other form of investment. There's an exit strategy. And if you're buying cards for fun, like I probably have the world's greatest Steve Jeltz collection, that's fun. If the cards, the holders themselves cost more than the cards. So that's my fun part of the hobby. But when you start buying Clemente and Mantle and these modern players like the Crow Armstrong and Harper, you got to work, and even Trout. Trout's a big lesson. You need to think about the extra strategy, because if you want to upgrade into a bigger card, or if you have to sell the card for whatever reason, you got to think about how easy it is to move that card. How liquid is it? And I think from folks my age growing up in the 1980s, we found out from Wally Joyner and Jose Canseco and Kevin Moss and Jeffries and all those others, the exit strategy
don't besmirch my man, Greg Jeffries.
The exit strategy wasn't our future 401ks or the retirement plans like the USA Today articles we're all talking about. So with that in mind, I value players who no longer play. Even if it's a recently retired player, I feel much more comfortable investing in that person, because when you're spending a set amount, regardless of what that number is, it's a form of investment. So I just think we need to keep that in mind when we buy. Now, at the National, I exhausted my budget. I don't know if you did also.
It's only Thursday.
Well, things pop up. I have a top 15 list, and sometimes it grows to a top 20 list. But I try to keep it to 15. But there's things that pop up that you don't expect. And in the last 2 months, a few items popped up at auction. One of them is a Craig Krindler painting. So I was able to pick up the Honus Wagner painting. This isn't the big one, the 16 by 20. It's a color sample. So when this popped up on eBay, of all places, I just felt like I had to have it. So I moved inventory, and that's where the exit strategy in the hobby comes in. So when you think of exit strategy, I would just say think of Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle as good examples. And
Jackie Robinson.
big time. Jackie Robinson's unique because when I was collecting, when I was my son's age, Jackie cards weren't as liquid as they are today. DiMaggio and Yastrzemski, they were more liquid in my opinion. But now Jackie Robinson's liquid. So just think about the exit strategy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know that firsthand from not buying them more earlier and trying to play catch up and hit me in the wallet. But yeah, especially if you want to add new cards to your inventory. Go ahead.
Now, the last example I'll give, in some situations where I can't move 20 Mickey Mantle cards to afford two 1914 and 15 Cracker Jack, Walter Johnson, and what's the other? Honus Wagner. I was able to do that in March. But something else popped up recently, and I didn't have enough time to trade the cards, and that was a 67 Venezuelan Clemente. It's a nice lower grade, which most of us are used to, and that was a card where I dipped into my national budget. So for this national, I'm taking it easy, which takes a lot of pressure off and allows me to enjoy it more, walking the aisles with my son. And it keeps him from looking at old guy cards. How about you, Tony?
Well, so my story, when I got back in the hobby about 4 or 5 years ago, one of the first things I did, I really wanted to collect all the Hank Aaron cards. I really love Hank Aaron. I like what he stood for, what he did in the face of racism and hatred, and just killed it. He's the last Negro League player to ever suit up in a major league game. So I wanted to get his. I did that, and then I jumped into Mantle, and I did his whole run. And once I did it, I kind of felt like I did it. And so it was just some other cards came up, and the way I could afford those cards was to offload the Mantles. And there is nothing more liquid in this room right here than a Mickey Mantle card. You can sell them if you get good ones that are in good shape. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the crazy thing, Tony. All the Yankee fans are gonna hate. I know Mr. Lane's about to throw daggers at. Mickey Mantle's a great player. I don't think that goes without saying. But you look at some other guys from that time, you could make an argument. Maybe Willie Mays was better, or Hank Aaron. They're all Hall of Famers. No, my saying is you're not kicking any of them out of bed.
No.
But Mickey Mantle playing in New York, the Mecca, especially at that time. But it still holds true, like you just said, all these years later, right? And listen, Mays is another one that probably falls into. But I still think he's almost underrated. I don't know if you guys agree, hobby-wise, maybe not player-wise, but hobby-wise. I think sometimes his stuff sometimes brings something and be like, man, it could have brought more. That's a great buy at that level.
Yeah.
Just something that Tony said was, it's interesting because when we did our transactions, we really didn't talk too much about it at the time. We let each other know what we were thinking, but I just found it interesting, and a lot of other folks do the same thing. Mantle's the first player who we look to when it comes to liquidating, and probably the first player we look to replace those cards down the road.
Yeah, exactly. So with me, when something big came up, and that big card, my Grail card growing up when I was a kid was a 52 Mantle, and I got that a couple of years ago, and it sat on my bedside table for about 3 weeks watching me sleep. It was my baby. I took it to work with me and set it up against my lamp on my desk so it could watch me work.
Your door's locked, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And I love the card, and I still do. But then there's another card that came up, and it's a 1950 Toleteros Josh Gibson card, and there was only 30 of them in the world, and he's the greatest Negro League hitter of all time. And when the Major League stats went official, he's now the leader in batting average, he's the leader in slugging percentage, and the leader in OPS, passing Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb. Now, you can debate whether that's crazy or whatever. I don't care. But it's a fact. And the guy, if he wasn't banned from playing in the white major leagues, would be on par with anybody that we would talk about in this room today. So I wanted that card. How could I get that card? Well, I had to liquidate some cards, and I had to do it fast. So the 52 mantle went. I made about 15 grand off of it. I had 2 signed 1955 Jackie Robinsons. I moved that within 24 hours. And then the third one was a 1915 Cracker Jack Honus Wagner. Now, I had collected these over years, but it was like putting money in a bank account. And so I was able to raise $100,000 in 36 hours and was able to make that deal. It was another collector that was selling it, reached out to me, and I couldn't turn that down. So I got rid of important cards. Now, the 52 mantle, I absolutely want another one, but I'm going to have to save up for that bad boy or sell some different cards.
I noticed 3 people got up when you talked about getting rid of the mantle. So apparently they were here to buy it, and now that they heard you didn't have it.
But here's the deal with those. The mantle, there's 3,000 of those. I can go to Ash's table right now and buy one. He has 8, okay? Every big auction has those. There's the 15 Honus Wagner, the Cracker Jack. Most auctions will have that. The 55 Jackie, the sign, there's only 18 of those. I had 2 of them, so I could get rid of 1. So that's how I whittled down what I was willing to move. You don't have to have huge cards to do that. There can be a $5,000 card you want, and you've got 3 cards that add up to that you curated that are got great eye appeal, and you can move those to get that card. This is just an example. That Toleteros, there's only been 4 public sales since 2019. So there isn't going to be one come up. There isn't one in this room right now for sale. So just, that was an opportunity. I can go get them other ones. I got to get the Wagner to complete my Cracker Jack set, and I want another 52 mantle. So it's just a temporary thing where that is not in my collection. I missed that card, though, because that was the card. And that bothered me, to be honest with you. But it's
I see you writhing around that right now talking about it.
It bothered me, man.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Much like Tony's 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle, that's a card I've been wanting since 1986, so I was 10. But my 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle to me was a 1968 Topps 3D Clemente test card. And I found that maybe 2 months before the last National, which was in Cleveland. So that's another card I had to move. And it just comes down to, if you don't have the cash, just having cards that are liquid.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hurts to move those cards. I mean, Tony, you talked about that Topps Mickey Mantle card as much as I talked about that 3D Clemente, and it was rough to get rid of.
My second YouTube episode was I found my Grail card, and I tell the whole story about how I got the 52 mantle. And I said when I did my Toleteros video that either I was lying or I was a hypocrite, but I wasn't either. I was saying that facetiously, but it did hurt. And honestly, some of the things that you pick up that you have to actually give something up to get makes that thing mean even more to you. Yeah. So, because you had to give blood, sweat, and tears to get that card. And so that one is definitely one of those cards.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? The story of not only the cards themselves, but the acquisitions, the journey to get them, the people you meet to make an acquisition, right? Sometimes you get to know the person you're acquiring the card from in a way maybe you didn't anticipate. And you make a great point, Tony Liebrick, too, with they're all great cards, right? But you're moving some to acquire one that you just can't find, right? You, as great as those cards you've moved to acquire that Gibson in this case, you can get those cards again. They're not cheap, but you can find them, right? But you just don't find those Gibsons as easy as those other cards. So you can replace them eventually. Rome wasn't, the old cliche, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. You can pick them off in your whatever your time frame is, the Gibson, like you said, good luck. Even if you came into this building with the sole intent, like that's all I'm getting, and I'm walking out of here, you still may not get it because it's not here.
There's only one of them in the building right now, and it's with PSA. So that tells you how hard it is, and that's his.
Yeah, so it's that goes to show you, right? So sometimes, someone asked me when one of the questions I got asked, guys, when I got my Jackie Leaf, like, would you ever sell it? Or, and my initial answer is no. Like, I waited a long time to get it. But you know what? You can never say never, right? If the right deal came along or something else that you can make a sale or a trade to get something, and then I can buy that card maybe again. But I never say never, right? The old cliche.
Yeah, I've learned
that. Because unless it's an irreplaceable card, it can be replaced as long as you want to spend the money to do it. So
yeah. Now the ones I won't move are my signed vintage cards, like the Mantles. I've got a 1959 Mickey Mantle that he signed for me in person when I was 14 years old. That will never leave my collection, and I can say that 100% because Mr. Mantle touched that card in front of me and said hello. So that has an emotional connection that can never be broken. So that'll go to one of my kids or something. But the other ones are just they're awesome, but they're currency.
Let me ask you this: with the Gibson, we've already spoke of the significance of him, the player, of that card being very, very scarce and rare. Along these lines, Tony, do you ever see a scenario where that gets moved, or that's the exception to the rule?
I'm never going to say never. I mean, I don't know. For right now, I'm fired up to have it, and it's in my PC. And I'm going to cherish it, and I love the fact I have it. I love his story. I read the book, and I've done a lot of deep digging into the Negro League history and that sort of thing, and I just really, I don't know, I'm into it. So honestly, I can't ever say never. The only one of my collection I can say that about is that Mantle. That's it.
Tony DiMarzio, do you have a card, maybe not here, obviously, but do you have a card that you can say never or no?
The 68 Topps 3D Clemente, because I'm one away from the set. And I'm also working on the extended set. There's a few cards from that set that are considered proofs that were never made it into packs. And that's I have a 69 Topps Mickey Mantle signed, and I'm the second owner. The original owner had it signed at the first East Coast National, and the person also was able to take photographs of Mickey signing the card. DiMaggio's also in another picture, so that might be another one I would probably never move, just because even though it's not like Tony, I didn't get it signed personally, but I know that it was done, and it has provenance to me.
You mentioned Greg Jeffries earlier. I have 3 binders of Greg Jeffries rookies in my garage that will never get moved. And my wife wanted to throw them out, and I said no. They stay in the garage. So I'm obviously kidding. Tony, I see you have some cards. I don't know if you wanted to bring something up here or talk about something.
Coming in Chicago, I really wanted to bring my signed 83 OPG Ryan Sandberg, but unfortunately I forgot that home. But I did have a few pickups here. For those who collect Robin Roberts or other Phillies, this is a 1948 Philadelphia Bulletin. Robin Roberts, it was one of the first cutouts, and you would cut it out. It came. It actually was issued in a newspaper that came out only on Sundays, and it has comics on the back. And I just thought it was like really cool. And I'm a Robin Roberts collector. Also had a chance to pick up my first 2 Japanese cards, much like the 68 Topps 3D test cards. This is a 1971 Kayabaya 3D Ho card, and I just like how it looks. And I'm a Smokey Joe Wood collector, and this card means a lot to me because it came from a friend.
It's part of how I had money
This
to
is
buy Cracker Jacks.
This is a 1916 M101 for blank back, Smokey Joe Wood. And two other cars I'm going to show quick. My son's here, and we picked up a Cooper flag. I won it in a... Anthony talked me into doing some contest. And it's a BGS 9.5 Cooper flag. It's my first modern basketball car purchased in a while. And the last one...
Is it yours or his?
And yours or mine? And then the last one is a 1996 Ichiro Japanese card. It's a lenticular 3D card, and I thought this was pretty cool. And it's a PSA 8, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this really looks nice for a PSA 8. I'm not sure why it's graded higher or lower, but it's just cool because it's something you don't see every day. And as I progress in the hobby, I'm getting more into the things you don't see every day, what some people call oddball, food test regional, foreign. I just think it's pretty cool. And the last thing I picked up at the car ladder booth was deodorant. So if anyone runs out of it or you walk by a person who needs one, just...
And if you have a really tiny armpit.
I was going to say, that looks like it should last about 30 minutes, and you got to go back and get another one. But, yeah, like the old joke, right? Deodorant and comfortable shoes, and most people smell good. That part's good, and but yeah, those are all great cards, right? How about when we talk about like the lenticular cards, right? It seems like we appreciate them more today than we did even when they first came out. I remember being a kid with the Kellogg's releases, right? Yeah. And pulling them out of the cereal boxes. And they were cool, but I didn't love them. But today I buy them, and especially if they're uncracked and not curled, and I'll get them slabbed. And speaking of that, I have one for you. And we appreciate stuff sometimes more now than at the time we lived through them. Like, it's just funny how that goes, Even like for me, I used to hate exhibit cards. Wouldn't touch them, wouldn't talk about them. People would offer them, come up to my table, do you want these? Like, no. And I've done a 180 on them. Like, I don't want to say I love them, but I'll acquire them now, where before I wouldn't have even considered that. Like, it's just interesting how our opinions can vary and change on things.
And the lenticular card, to me, it's like probably the birth of the refractor, which everyone loves now. So I think of it that way, and that helps me tie what I collect vintage to what my son does modern.
Yeah, for you, Tony Liebrick, has there been anything like you were out on, let's say, and then you've changed like over the years or later on, coming back, like, I didn't used to like these, but now I kind of do.
Well, when I first got back in, I was into vintage. I thought some of the strip cards were kind of ugly. And then I got into the Black Sox history and started reading a lot about that, really got into Shoeless Joe Jackson and started collecting his cards. And the one set that's most related to the 1919 Black Sox is the W514 strip cards. So I fell in love with those, and I did the whole White Sox team set. It took me about a year to get all those because they're harder to find, some of them, than others. And so that's something. The thing that I changed into a lane that I wasn't originally, I guess I've always been there because I had that mantle, was signed vintage. And now that's like my big lane. I'm all in on that. I never was out on it, but that's something I got into, and now everybody bugs me about it.
No. Once it's authenticated and slabbed, it's real.
That's right. No. I try to be, I look at the autograph, try to figure out if it looks real or not before I buy it, but I'm not an expert either.
Got a few minutes left, guys. I guess it was announced that the 2028 National will be in Atlanta, closer to you. Kind of your thoughts being from the South, seen in Atlanta. Do you like that? Indifferent? Where do where do you fall on that?
Yeah, I like it. I go to a big convention there at the Georgia World Congress Center, which, if you don't know, is right by where the Georgia Dome is. So it's in that downtown Atlanta corridor. You're not going to walk to a lot of places to eat down there. It's more of a, it's not industrial, but it's more like just buildings like where you work.
So is it like Cleveland was a little bit, where there's nothing too much around it?
No, because it's Cleveland, the big X Center wasn't downtown.
No, it wasn't.
Atlanta's dead downtown,
Oh, okay.
and so
No, I
there.
meant to
So
tell
if
you
you're gonna
next
go, the ideal place to stay is it's called the CNN Center, and there's a big hotel right across the street, and you just it's kind of attached to it. You can stay in places downtown. They have a really extensive metro system, which is subway.
Yeah, pretty good.
So you can stay in the peripheral part if you want to, where there are restaurants, and you can get on that subway every morning and take it, and you get off right underneath that Atlanta, the Georgia Dome area. So that is a very important point, because if you've never been to Atlanta, what you need to know is the traffic is unbearable. So you need to either be by a subway, or you need to be in one of those hotels within walking distance. The Georgia World Congress Center you're going to like much better than this setup, because it's one humongous room, and the ceilings are high, so you can actually get an idea. You can see things better.
Yeah.
And it's easier to find your way around. But the room is so big that when you look to the other end, you can't hardly see the other wall because of the curvature of the earth. So it's going to be a better setup as far as this, where it's going to be kind of laid out like a city with city blocks with numbers. This is kind of curved, so it's a little more difficult to get your bearings. You're going to like that better. But again, stay where there's a metro and stay near the place. One of the two. Do not try to drive there and park.
I used to attend the Peach Bowl. I'm a big college football fan, and once you started talking about it, then my memory came back. The senior moment passed, and
Yeah,
So
and-
now when we try to book the hotel, even though we have a couple years, everything's booked, right?
Yep,
Thanks
and
for telling
learn
me.
to talk Southern. Okay, just talk slow.
Well, there you go. Some insider tips for the 2028 National 3 years in advance, right? But good advice there. All that stuff can help you navigate an already big show, right? Guys, we have like a minute or two left. First off, thank you for agreeing to come up here and share the stage with me. We could do a whole nother hour probably if we had to, but just to kind of give out where people can see your content, what you're doing.
Yeah, you go first, Tony.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram with Southern Collector 14, all one word, or you can go on YouTube, Southern Collector 14. I release one video per week. My niche is baseball history tied into the hobby, but I also like to do interviews with guys that have really awesome collections who are experts in certain lanes, and they share their knowledge and their cards. It's a really, really cool thing to see.
I'm on Instagram and YouTube. TJ, T as in Tony, J as in Joseph, is online, ISONLINE. And you'll know it's me because I have a Sports Impressions Mike Schmidt coffee mug from the early 1990s that I kept all these years. So just look for the coffee cup.
And in closing, I want to thank the National for having Sports Card Nation. I think this is our fourth or fifth time doing a main stage performance. Try to bring different people up each year as well. Thanks to them for having me. I'll make mine simple. If you Google Sports Card Nation, everything will just come up. Probably some stuff you don't even want. So make it easy for you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
I want to get a picture too.
Oh, yeah.
We cut a little bit into the land.
You want to start introducing him? Tell him I'm giving out tickets.
I'm just gonna start writing all this down.
Yeah. Okay. 54 spots. Actually, don't mention the spots. We know it's 54.
Okay.
If you get a ticket, you're gonna definitely. We should have asked him if it's an autograph card or not. Are these excited about the Atlanta spots?
So it's a mix of autographs. So there's 8 autographs per box.
Okay. So about a half. Okay.
So if you do it by pack, whatever's in the pack is yours. So we can draw a number. Say, all right, this number gets the next pack.
Yeah, let's do that.
Want to do that, and then they get everything into the pack.
Okay, yeah, I could do that.
Want to do that?
Okay, so we'll do it by packs. So everybody who gets a ticket gets guaranteed a
'Cause
pack.
I don't think we have. Yeah, I don't think
Lots
we
of
have 54
autographs.
people.
Well, I'll get 54 people over here.
They'll start coming though if we start giving away
Okay.
stuff.
So,
Everybody's guaranteed a pack. If you get a ticket, raise your 1 ticket per person. Lots of autographs, lots of good stuff just released 2 days ago. Onyx is great. It's a mixed bag, I think. Oh, baseball. Sorry, baseball. Rare autographs.
2025, you said, right?
Yeah. 2025 Onyx Rips. Once you pull your name, then you guys open the pack and tell them. We got the camera. Is that set up?
Yeah, I don't know.
The camera set up. So.
You guys gonna sit?
Just you
Well,
two.
you're gonna be out there, right?
No, just you two sit here and break on the.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let him. I'm not gonna break it. I'll let him do it.
That'd be good for you too.
Good afternoon, everybody. Didn't mean to scare you. Just make sure you're all awake. My name is Paul. I am going to MC this next event, and I am here with Lance from Onyx Rips, and he's got something pretty special for you guys. We are going to give out raffle tickets, one per person. So if you'd like a raffle ticket, let us know. We will make sure you get one. And what's going to happen is Lance is going to do a live rip of a new product that just came out 2 days ago, Onyx Rips Baseball. Okay, there are, Lance, eight
autographs a box.
Yep. So there's 8 autographs per box in this. You got Paul Skeens, you got Bobby Witt Jr., you've got this year's draft picks.
Can I get a raffle ticket,
I
please?
think you might even have 2026 draft picks in there. A lot of top prospects in there. You've got guys from last year's draft, Bazana, Nick Kurtz, Cam Smith. It's pretty loaded. So if you guys are baseball fans out here, and I don't know, how many people have heard of Onyx? Just raise your hand. Nice, nice. You know, it's funny. I always ask this question every year. And the first year we did this, I think I saw one, maybe, if I was lucky, 2 hands pop up. Now it looks like the majority of the crowd knows who's Onyx. So we're doing something right, hopefully, and hope you guys have fun today.
All you people that are walking by and you can hear my voice, come on over here before these raffle tickets get given away and you get left out in the cold. You are going to want a piece of this product, trust me.
Yeah, guys, listen, free cards. Free cards. I get there's a lot. This show is absolutely insane. But if you just take the 15, 20 minutes, man, you're going to get some free cards. You get some good ones. Don't miss out.
Anybody want to yell out a name of somebody that they're hoping they can pull out of their pack? Go ahead. Joe Burrow. Who'd he get drafted by in the MLB?
I heard he's got a really good arm.
Actually, I saw him at Fanatics Fest. The guy can't throw a baseball to save his life.
Oh, wow.
He was at Fanatics Fest and literally could not, in a batting cage, could not throw the ball 60 feet and hit a target. And he's a quarterback in the NFL, which was nuts.
He's got the strength but no control.
I don't even know if he had the strength. It was weird to watch him throw a baseball. I heard Skeens. Anybody else? Oh, PCA. Why are we not over in the venue? Did we get a PCA autograph today?
Nice.
Not yet?
Nice.
You're heading over there? Okay. All right.
Nice.
Fair enough.
How about Rookie of the Year? Probably leader, Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz. Man, I'll tell you what, everyone thought Jacob Wilson was in the driver's seat for Rookie of the Year in the AL, and
sure was.
Kurtz is his teammate. Said, nope, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
How about one of my favorites, Ellie De La Cruz? Anybody looking for an Ellie card? All right. Well, come on. You want Skeens or you want Ellie? You just yelled out Skeens. Cheater. Can't get. Well, maybe you get both. Maybe you get lucky. They're both in the same pack.
They're all good.
I heard Scooble. I see the Tigers hat. I respect
Scooble.
it. I like it. Anybody else? Freddie Freeman. Yeah, huh?
Freddie Freeman. Okay. You know, hey, just a little tidbit of information. We were actually the first company to do Freddie Freeman signing. He was in low A ball at the time, and we had the choice of doing either Jason Hayward or Freddie Freeman. And guess who we picked? We picked Freddie Freeman. I actually saw a little more potential there. Looks like it worked out.
Do we have more tickets to get? We have more tickets to give out. Anybody walking by? We're giving away free cards.
Free cards.
Need a raffle ticket? Come get one.
So for my Tigers fan out there, for this fall, our vintage extended release, we're gonna have Kevin McGonigal in it. So we just signed him up for a trading card deal. Number 2 prospect in all of baseball.
Guys, last chance. Giving away free cards. Everybody walking by, come on over. Come get a raffle ticket. Need a raffle ticket.
Come on, guys, free stuff. Just that we're all here for trading cards. I'm surprised we don't have a bigger crowd. Free baseball cards.
Free trading cards. Free.
Yeah. There's no catch. You just got to listen to us. But
they just got released 2 days ago.
Yep,
They're
2
not
days.
even out there yet.
Brand new stuff, brand new release. And the cool thing is once these get opened, you're going to see the quality of these cards are really, really nice. Really nice.
Guys, free cards. Need a raffle ticket? Come grab one.
Six left.
Raffle tickets left. No purchase necessary.
Do we have any, this isn't baseball, but do we have any Jaden Daniels fans out there?
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah? How many of you were at our VIP?
Hold on. You guys, put your hand up again. Jaden Daniels fan, look down at your shirt. You sure about that? Come on, man. Come on. You can't have a Jordan Love jersey on and say I'm a Jaden Daniels fan. You can't have both. I understand he's a good player, but you can't be like, hey, he's my favorite guy, and you're wearing somebody else's jersey. It'd be one thing if you had like a wide receiver's jersey on. Like you had like, all right, so then how can you like Jaden Daniels too? That's like I live in New York and guys are like, oh, I like the Mets and the Yankees. No, you don't. You can only like one.
Nice.
I'm just playing with you.
How many, so for those Jaden Daniels fans out there, or people know who he is, how many of you were at our VIP party 2 years ago? Guess who was there? Jaden Daniels. This was before he won the Heisman. This is before who he is today. So it was pretty wild. A lot of people kind of give us like, oh, you guys got to bring in these huge names. And it's like, okay, I get it. But
we are officially sold out of raffle tickets.
We're good? All right.
Looks
Everyone's
like we've given them all out. Ready to start ripping?
Let's do it.
Let's go. We got to get the rest of those raffle tickets up here, I guess.
We'll mix these up really good for everybody. So we got a lot of autographs to pull out of these boxes. We've got number cards. We've got refractors, kaleidoscope refractors, 101s. Let's see what we pull. Inscribed cards. What was that? Oh yeah, lots of autos. So we should pull what 8, 16, 24 autos out of these 3 boxes. Which makes it almost 1 in 2 chance of getting an autographed card. Sounds pretty good.
I was trying to do that math, but I failed that class. How many?
Pretty good odds. And for those of you who know our product, we're all about prospecting. Granted, we've got Paul Skeens in there, Bobby Wood Jr., and so on and so forth. But we've always been recognized for those players that we've identified really, really early in their playing careers. And one of the things that we ask a lot of collectors out there is sometimes be patient. Be patient. For those who were at the VIP party, for instance, Jane Daniels. There was actually a lot of people like, who's Jane Daniels? Okay, yeah, that's great. He plays for LSU, but who is he? And, you know, sometimes you just have to wait, and all of a sudden the guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So some of these guys, you may not recognize who they are, but I promise you, just wait and see. Sometimes it's not a quick flip. All right, so I think we got all the tickets all set.
Okay.
And we're about to start ripping. All right, first pack. All right, let's do it, guys. All right, so I'm going to do the last 4 numbers on the ticket. So who's got 3336? 3336. All right, the gentleman in green. So let's do this. So I'm going to open the pack for you so that everyone kind of sees what we're going to pull out of this. So.
All right, so I'll pull the tickets and
Okay.
you go ahead and do
Beautiful, beautiful. Teamwork makes the dream work.
that. I'll wait till you finish that one.
Let's see what we got here. I don't know if there's a camera I should show this to, or I don't think so. Oh, this one here? Okay. All right, so just bear with me, all right?
You want to sit there?
Yeah, we'll do it this way. All right, so it looks like we got a Bryce Eldridge base. Okay, and I'll set this up. I don't know. For those who can see the TV, am I doing this right, or am I way off? It's not. Oh, it's not on? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll show everyone. Bryce Eldridge. Yay. All right, for those Giants fans out there. And then a Matt Lugo base kaleidoscope. So if you guys see that, very quality card. Where's my gentleman in green? Come on up. Grab your cards. And obviously the key here is if you want to trade with people, you can trade.
All right, the next ticket number.
There you go, my friend. Thank you so much.
3337. And I swear to God, I didn't do that on purpose.
We're just going to go in
My man in the Orioles hat back here.
Orioles hat. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's see who we get here. All right, so Bryce really wants us to call his name. So we got another Bryce Eldridge base.
Nice.
All right, let's see here. Can you guys see that? That's good. Did I hit it right on the first shot? Oh, nice. All right. And we got a numbered David Shields to 150 autograph. Nice.
Very
All
nice.
right, let's stick this here. I'm going to put it right on the same card. And you can see. Oh, and guys, listen, for those who may not recognize what we do, but we're always on card autographs. We don't do stickers. So all our autograph cards are going to be on card. So David Shields is a high-end prospect for the Royals. He's actually I think he was a second, possibly a third rounder last year in the draft. He was one of the youngest guys to sign with one of the biggest signing bonuses. So the kid's got a lot of potential. He's very confident of himself, too. We had him at a thing that we did with eBay this spring, and very confident kid. All right, thank you.
And the next number, 3349.
All right, got a Cubs fan over here.
This is a big rip. This is a big one. He wanted PCA.
PCA, all right. I don't know about PC. Take a guess who the base card is.
No way.
Oh, all right. Listen,
All right.
I know we've been naming some duplicate of Bryce, our friend here.
Ooh,
But this
boy.
next card,
Yeah, you might want to sit down for a second.
you might be a Pirates fan after this.
Yeah, you might be a Pirates fan after that.
Okay? So here's our friend Bryce. Okay, again, I don't know if I'm hitting that right on, but not only is this Paul Skeens, but we did a limited edition run, numbered to 50, of kind of a comic book take on certain players in this product. And Paul Skeens is one of them. So check that out. The first 10 of these cards are actually autographed. So very cool. Very cool. Nice hit.
Little boy. Next number, 3316. There he is.
Oh, there we go. All right, let's see here.
Come on up here.
I'm
You
just
have to
hoping
wait.
it's
You come
not
on
Bryce
up.
Eldridge to get on top. All right, yay, it's not. Okay, so, all right. So who are those, remember, the number one pick in this year's draft? Eli Willits? Yep. So there we go. So we got base card of Eli Willits. Again, I'm not sure.
Check out the next one.
All right, listen. We got a hot hand going here right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Who was saying they wanted Nick Kurtz? I think there's a couple people who say Nick Kurtz, right?
Oh,
I'm just gonna set it down.
let's go.
Autograph Nick Kurtz in
Let's
green paint
go.
pen,
The green paint is
numbered
awesome.
to 5.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I don't know. I think this stuff's pretty good, right? All right,
What do you
good,
think?
nice hit.
You happy?
Nice hit. There you go, my friend.
Wow. I don't know if you can top
All
that
right, a little bit of fire here.
one. 3356.
3356.
3. There's my winner right there.
Hiding in the side.
Oklahoma baseball.
All right, let's see what we got
All right.
going here. Oh, I gotta hide.
Oh boy.
All right. So here's another first rounder from this year's draft. Pitcher, Crew Schoolcraft, base card. And of course, everyone's like, oh, that's great, yeah. But I want to see the autographs. All right, this one is numbered to 150. I think he was a second rounder last year of the Giants out of Mississippi State. Dakota Jordan, autograph card.
Nice.
Very cool. This kid has got some power. Very underrated last year during college. I think he hit 24 or 25 home runs last year. So very underrated. So nice hits. We're getting autographs. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. 3338.
338. We got the back in the corner.
My man with the Steelers hat on. I see you. I got you. Who we hoping for?
Who?
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens, you sure? You wouldn't take someone else? Oh, here's your first card.
Well,
Sir
well,
Paul
well.
Skeens, good call.
Well.
And on
Ask
top
and
of
you
that,
shall receive.
you got an autograph card.
Ooh.
115 out of 150. Griffin Tobias of the Royals.
Nice.
Or no, I'm sorry, the Brewers. My bad.
Nice.
Very cool. Come on up. Grab your cards. Good job. Free cards. Free cards. I'd say so far so good for being free. Well,
You're welcome.
Oh, really?
3313.
Oh, all right. Our Bengals fan. Well, guess what?
No Joe Burrow?
I don't have Joe Burrow, but how about the number 2 pick from last year's draft? Chase Burns. There we go, Cincinnati fan.
Yes, sir.
So we got Burns and how about a Paul Skeens? There you go.
Not a bad pack.
Nice pack. No autographs, but you know what? That's not a bad pull.
Not a bad pack.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
3366.
3366.
You raised your hand before I said the last 6.
3366.
Yeah, 3366. How'd you know I was going to say 6? He threw his hand right up. He's like, I got
Okay,
it.
so if you can read minds, who did I pull for you? Come on up. You can come up. All right, so our first card is a base card of Matt Lugo. All right, now get this. Second card's pretty good. Now, some of you may or may not have heard of this player, but he actually holds the all-time home run record in high school in Japan. He's like the next Japanese prodigy. Okay? How many of you have heard of Rentaro Sasaki? And it's the comic version, numbered to 50. Dude, nice hits, man.
Not bad.
There you go.
You can leave right there on the table. Thank you. I can't do this if I wanted to. 3317.
3317. All right. So let's see what we got here. What other little surprises? Oh, all right. So here's the number 3 draft pick from last year's draft, Charlie Condon base. Not bad at all. He's actually having a pretty decent minor league season right now. And autograph. Indians fan. We got any Cleveland fans? Indians? Or not Guardians. I'm sorry. Guardians.
Over there.
All right. Franco Ailman. I think he actually got called up this year. I think he's one of the relievers. So nice hit. Autograph.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Three, 319. Oh,
here we
now
go.
there's a lot
Here
of
we
pressure.
go.
There's a lot of pressure right now.
Ooh, okay. So, number to 25, Charlie Condon base gold. Very nice. I don't know, am I doing this right? Can't see. Good? Everyone can see? And an autograph. What autograph you think you got? Got Eric Adler of the White Sox. Actually not bad at all. Number to 150. There you go, man. Some of these guys you got to wait on, too.
Sure. 3352.
3352. Well, if we only gave out 50-something tickets, I think everyone's going to get a pack.
Yeah, everybody's getting a pack.
Everyone's going to get a pack. So just some of you guys be patient.
3352. Anybody?
3352.
Going once.
Uh-oh.
Going twice.
Those Paul Skeens and Nick Kurtz autographs apparently weren't enough to keep you.
All right.
All right.
So the next person is going to get 2 packs.
Ooh,
How about that?
We can do that.
Next person is going to get 2 packs.
All right.
You ready?
2 packs.
3360.
No?
No?
Is the next one going to get 3 packs?
3360. I'm going to give you the same shot. Nobody?
No one.
Somebody? You guys are leaving? Wow.
All right. We're going to go again.
All right.
Now someone's getting 3 packs. Let's have a little fun here.
What do you want? 4-1, you said? 3359. Get out of here. Where'd you guys all go? 3359. There he is.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to have to double check that ticket because this is a big winner.
Yeah, so we got a few names to read off here. I'll make this real quick.
Appreciate you. There's the
Let
winner.
me see. Let me see.
That's the winner right there.
All right,
That's
so
the
we
match.
got a Chase Burns base. All right, guys, please bear with me because I have no clue if I'm setting this up right. Draw a little square here. We got a Cruz Schoolcraft base. And then we got our friend Rentaro Sasaki base. Yeah. Listen, keep that card. Keep it. It's a good one. We actually had him do some kanji in last year's vintage, and I think those were going for $500 a piece. So, yeah, pretty wild. All right, let me see here. Let's start with, you know what, we got a duplicate of Franco Ailman autograph. Not bad. It's good. Number to 150. Rentaro Sasaki, number to 50. Comic. Nice. Very nice hit.
Oh, it gets better.
And how about a Paul Skeens? Yeah. There we go. Not bad for 3 packs. There you go, my friend. All right, we're getting to the bottom of the first box.
3344.
3344. All right, let's see what we got here. I've got to hide this down because I think the bottom card shows. Ooh. Okay, this is a base. All right. Any Royals fans? I know one in the corner. How about a Bobby Witt Jr. base? Not bad. And if you're a Brewers fan, this kid's actually really good. How about a Cooper Pratt? He's one of their top prospects. I think he's top 100 in Baseball America. Autograph. Number to 150. There you go. Congrats.
Next number, 3365.
Oh, all right. 3365. Come on up. Let's see what you got. All right. Any Florida State fans? Yeah, go Noles. All right. How about Jamie Arnold? Base card. All right. For those who know, I used to recruit for Florida State for the football team. All right. And the number 1 pick from last year's draft, Travis Bazzana, Kaleidoscope. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
There you go, my friend. Those are yours. All right, this is the last pack of the first box.
Next one, 3353.
All right, let's see. Got a lot of Cubbies fans here. Surprised. We're in Chicago. All right, so we've got a... Oh, wow. Sorry, guys, I'm cheating. Crew Schoolcraft, first rounder from this year's draft base. And I'll tell you what, we may have some people walking out of here with a little bit of money today because we keep pulling this guy. Here's the gold version of Rintaro Sasaki comic. Very cool. Number to 50. Hold on to these cards. This kid's a beast. Actually, that's his nickname, the Beast. All right.
Next one, 3351.
335. All right, 3351. Let's see what we got here. All right, this year's number 1 pick, Eli Willits. I'm hoping that you can see that. And nice. And I don't know if these guys are friends, but also a first rounder from this year, Xavier Nians. This guy is a monster home run hitter. Very cool. Thank you.
Next number, 3361.
3361. All right, back here in the corner. Let's see what you got. He's a VIP, so he's better pull some good stuff, he's saying. All right, so how about a number 2 pick from last year? Chase Burns, base, not bad. And number to 150, Matt Lugo of the Angels, autograph. Very
nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
Trying to keep our VIPs happy.
How about 3363?
All right, 3363. Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay. So again, I'm cheating. Sorry. Bobby Witt Jr. base card. And this is now, he's the number 3 prospect in all of baseball. Anybody know who that is? Per Baseball America. Who? Say loud. No.
Not Bubba.
One more guess. Plays for the Brewers. Dominican. Jesus Mate. Or as I called him at first, Jesus Made. Or Jesus Made.
Thank you. Those are yours. Next number is 3325. There he is right there.
All right, let's see what we got. All right, we got as a base card, the number 1 pick from last year's draft, Travis Bazzana. And we have, this dude he's a dude. Okay, he plays for the A's. Can't call him Oakland, can't call him Vegas, can't call him Sacramento. I don't know what they are. But the A's, Josh Grauer, This guy's going to be a stud. This kid's going to be a good one. So hold on to him.
Next number, 3314.
All right, 3314.
Center front.
Oh, Florida State. Go Noles. We got Jamie Arnold base. And Giants fans, we got another Dakota Jordan autograph. Number to 150.
That's two of them.
Very cool. It's a good one. You got it.
Next number, 3315.
3315. All right, gentlemen on the corner. Wow, Matt Lugo. Let me see. Okay, I'm cheating again. Matt Lugo of the Angels base. And another athletic. Number to 50. Comic version of Nicky Nukes. Nick Kurtz. Very good.
Next number, 3334.
3334. All right, come on up. I don't have any Bryce Harpers in that, so. Oh, wow. All right, we got two of our refractor versions. Very nice. All right, so our first one is number 3 pick from last year, Charlie Condon. And we got an autograph for our Cubbies fans out there. Brooks Capel. Autograph. Very cool. Good job.
How about 3358?
3358. Oh, I thought we were going to do another dual pack there for a minute. All right, so our base card. I'm actually, again, Noles fans. Go Noles. Cam Smith. All right. I thought he was going to win Rookie of the Year. I'm not so sure now. But anyways, Cam Smith, base card, and a Eric Adler refractor. Good job.
Very nice.
That's right. All respect, man. All respect. Except when we're on the field.
3340.
Ooh, this is actually a good pack. All right, so we got dual refractors again. So Charlie Condon, I guess he likes to have, he doesn't want to be alone when it comes to his refractor. So we got Charlie Condon, and then we have an autograph from this year's first round draft pick, Cruz Schoolcraft. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, good job. Yeah, nice.
Next number is 3348.
3348. All right. Let's see what we got here. Cubs fan. It's got Wrigleyville. Oh, okay. So I got to tell you guys a little bit about this poll. Oh, okay. So like I said, Charlie doesn't like to come by himself when it comes to pack parties. So, but this time he was generous enough to give us an autograph. So we got a Charlie Condon autograph card, and all right, for those who do not follow women's basketball, this young lady is in high school. Does anybody know who Juju Watkins is? All right, so there's a few of you know who Juju Watkins. All right, this is the next Juju Watkins in women's basketball. She's a phenom. Okay, and we did her first signing, but you got the comic card of her of Kalina Smith. So those are
very
two
nice.
really, really good polls.
Pretty cool.
Good job.
Thank you. I've got 3328.
3328. Oh, here we go. All right, we got Timberwolves fan in the house.
What are we hoping for? You don't care?
He wants Anthony Edwards. All right. So, Nick Kurtz, base, very good. And Eric Adler, refractor, very cool. All right, my buddy, there you go.
Everybody wants Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens.
Yeah, hopefully we get Paul.
I want
Skeens.
Livy Dunn. You guys can have Paul Skeens. How about 3-3-4-7? There we go.
There we go. All right. Okay. So we have a nice. This is actually a really good pack. Jesus Mate to 25 gold base. Very cool. Again, I'm going to ask you guys to help me out on this. I've got it there. You guys can see it? Or are you going to see half of it? Better? Worse? Better? Okay. Nice. All right. Now I got it. All right. And if you're a Reds fan, how about a Sal Stewart autograph? He's one of their top picks. Well, he was a top pick, but one of their top prospects.
Stud. You're welcome.
There you go. Number to 150.
Take care of that Reds card. 3-3-5-0.
3-3. Oh, here we go.
Oh, you
All
guys
right.
are cleaning up over there, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Bobby Witt Jr. base. And since he's a Cubs fan, you know, I did a little magic on that pack. Got you an autograph.
Nice.
Brooks Capel,
Nice.
Chicago Cubs. There you go. You got it. Thank you.
You got it. Enjoy. 3-3-3-0.
Oh, all right. All right, let's see. Number 2 pick from last year's draft, Chase Burns. And I'm a fan of this guy. I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of him, but I'm telling you. Josh Karuta Grauer Refractor. Very nice. Thank you, sir.
3-3-3-2.
Got it?
Seattle Seahawks.
All right. Seahawks. Probably looking for a Mariner. All right. I'm trying to think. I don't know if we have any Mariners in here. All right. But it's a good pack. So we got number 1 pick from last year, Travis Bazzana. And how about a Jesus Mate refractor? Very good. All right, last pack of the second box.
3-3-4-5.
All right, let's see.
Front row. We looking for a Cubs card?
Yeah, I'm trying to get everyone a Cubs card, but it's going to be the same guy every time. I'm not sure you guys want that. Well, that's a good one. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Charlie Condon base. And a kaleidoscope Bobby Witt Jr. Very nice, very nice, very nice. These are really nice. There you go, my friend.
Enjoy that.
All right, so our last box.
3-3-3-9.
3339. All right,
In the
gentleman
back.
in the back.
Let me guess, Paul Skeens? I could tell by the logo on your jacket.
Oh, okay. So we got a Cruz score. Yeah, we didn't get Skeens.
We may have to,
I'll give you a heads up
we
on
may
that.
have to talk about a trade.
But it's a
you and
good
I.
one. It's a good one.
We may have to talk about a trade.
Cruisco Craft base card. I'll do this. Someone guessed. Either they saw it or they guessed it right. How about a Chase Burns autograph? Refractor. Very nice.
See me after the
Nice
show.
pull.
We'll talk about a trade.
All right, come on up and get your cards. Oh, there we go.
He sent his
He's
manager.
got an assistant. Yeah. There you go, my friend.
3-3-2-4.
3324.
My man, right there. All right, I got
all
you.
right. Who are you a fan of? Who are you hoping to pull? You don't care?
Come on, you got to give me somebody.
As long as it's a good one?
You don't care?
All right, let's see
Fair
what we
enough.
got here. All right, well, how about the number 1 pick from last year's draft? That's your base card. I got another first rounder for you, too. Ooh. Xavier Hernandez autograph card. That's actually really good. This kid's got some power to him.
Sweet. 3-3-5-4. Tom Brady in the back row. All right.
Oh, but it's the Buccaneers version of Tom Brady. Got us that Super Bowl. Okay. for my Cubbies fans out there. All right, not this kid, but next one. Crew Schoolcraft. You seem to like him a lot. How about Owen Kasey? I think he's their top prospect, if I'm not mistaken, right? I
believe so.
He's on the cusp of being called up. Nice. Very good. You might be able to trade that with some of the group here.
3346.
3346. Where's that 3346?
Oh.
Got it?
Straight
Oh,
ahead.
okay. All right, nice. Let's see. Let's see if this one's autographed. It's autographed.
Wow.
All right. Can't see who it is.
Might be the pack of the day.
This
so
is a pretty
far.
good pack.
Might be the
All right,
pack
how
of the
about
day.
Paul Skeen's base? All right. And for our Reds fans, how about another Chase Burns auto? Very nice. Very nice. Can't argue about that pack.
I'm a little jealous. I'm a little
Got two
jealous.
people to trade with now.
I know. I can
You
haggle
got
with
it,
them.
You got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, let's see here.
3362.
All right, 3362.
How many tickets you guys got back there? I feel like you guys raised your hand every other time.
Tore up the numbers and oh, dude, you got a nice pack.
Wow.
How about a Rentaro Sasaki base? All right. And
This one's big.
And how about rookie of the year front runner Nick Kurtz auto? Very good.
Nice big
Very
gold
good.
autograph on there.
Very good. I bet you that's about $100 right there right now.
You got
if
more
wanted
than
to
two
flip it.
letters. You got more than two letters on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
3318. Is that you? Finally, I got you.
Right, Let's see. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we got the number one pick from this year's draft. Base card, Eli Willits. And we got a Franco Ailman refractor card. Not what we were hoping for, but not bad.
Looking for that Freddie
Got the number
Freeman
one
card.
pick. That's pretty good.
Looking for that Freddie Freeman. 3326.
All right, 3326. All right, here we go. So, our friend rookie of the year front runner Nick Kurtz base. And how about a Rockies Owen Miller?
That's a sharp looking card.
Refractor. There we go. There we go. Not bad, Kurtz. Kurtz salvages the pack.
Sending up the manager again. That's what happens, man. Get used to it. When I was your age, my father used to make me get up off the couch and change the TV channel. How about that? 3342.
All right, 3342. Here's a good one. How about a Jesus Made base? And a first rounder from this year's draft, a Crew Schoolcraft refractor. Not bad, not bad. I tell you, these base cards sometimes save the refractor cards. All right,
You got that ticket?
getting down there.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't
No,
worry
you're
about
good,
it.
buddy. You're good.
You're good. I should know if you had it. Next one is 3357.
3357. All right. Young lady coming up here. We've got a number one pick from last year's draft. Wow, we really like Crew Schoolcraft.
Yeah, no doubt.
Travis Bazzana. And let's see if this one is autograph. No, we got, all right, but Bazzana, and we got Crew Schoolcraft. Man, we're hoping he's the next Randy Johnson.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next number 3355.
3355.
Here we go.
All right. All right. We've got Matt Lugo. I think this is the first refractor of this player that we've gotten. Let's see if it's autoed. Nope. But Travis Bazzana refractor. Not bad. Very nice.
Thank you. 3323.
All right. Gentleman in the white. I think we've exhausted all
Must
the
have been a
Crew
big run.
Schoolcrafts that we put in this product. Crew Schoolcraft, and it's a tough one to say. Crew Schoolcraft base card, and an auto Eric Adler, refractor. Very nice.
On a refractor, no less.
All right. Very good. Thanks, sir.
3335. 3335.
Uh-oh. Could we be doing 2 packs?
Oh, we could go to 2 packs here?
Someone get 2 packs?
One more time. Ticket 3335. Going once, going twice. 2 packs to the ticket holder of 3364. 3364.
I guess when someone doesn't hit, it comes in 3s. All right.
What number do we want? 3320.
You got it? Nice. All right, that's 3, right? 3 packs?
That's 3 packs.
Comes in 3s, it seems like. Someone misses out. All right, so this is the 3rd pack. We'll put this one aside because this has been your pack. We'll see what that goes. All right, so the first 2 individuals, they missed out on a Bryce Eldridge base. And for our Cubs fans out there, an Owen Kasei, Nick Kurt base, and an autograph. Dario Laverde. All right, and then you also get Xavier Nans and another autograph. Diamondback Sam Knowlton. Very cool.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Not too bad.
3329.
All right. Young lady in the side there. Let's see what we got. All right. Nick Kurtz. These aren't bad duplicates to have. Nick Kurtz base and a Franco Ailman refractor. Very cool. So this is it. I think this is our last pack. I'm hoping you're booing because you're just sad that this is it and that this was a really bad product. It wasn't that one.
Did he put too many tickets in there?
Oh, maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
That's not good. Last one is 3333.
Oh, 33333. All right, so we have a Charlie Condon base and an auto. Cincinnati Reds, Jay Allen II. He actually was a really good football quarterback. Very cool. Very cool. So those are the leftover tickets.
They are.
Huh. We must have more people show up. So, but that happens. It happens.
Thank you, sir.
So that's all we've got, guys.
Guys, what do you think of the product?
Yeah, what do you think of the product? Good? Good stuff?
We're liking the quality. We're liking the autographs. What's that?
Good question. So a box of this, I know David Adams, Blowout, Steel City, probably be carrying that stuff at the show. I don't want to quote what the retail price is because it may not be what I'm thinking. But I want to say these go for around maybe $150 a box, something like that. Okay, do not quote me on it, but somewhere in that range. Good stuff. You're going to get some good hits. You guys got a nice little preview of it. So hope you enjoyed.
Thanks, everybody.
It's we don't have an exact name from it. I call it like a comic version. Right. It's like a comic variation. Cool. Yeah, they came out really nice. Thank you.
I have the leftover tumblers.
That's
I don't know who they belong to.
Yeah. You can have a few. I don't know if you want to
verify that number was actually in the ball. Everyone around it. Everyone around mine.
Oh, I'm sure it was in there.
Typical of my luck. So everyone
Need some
around
soft sleeves?
3330
Hey, Scott. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good. How about you?
Nice.
Good. How's business going?
Good. Staying busy. Just doing our thing.
You got more of the memorabilia side, didn't you?
We did. So
we took a hiatus from it, but we started to get into it again last year, and it did well. And so, we've got the bats that are coming out now, I think the end of August. And then we're going to do the game use batting gloves. Those will come out towards the end of September. So, it'll be good. So, yeah. Yeah. You're going to be around the show? How long are you here for?
I'll be here today and tomorrow.
Okay. You're going to be here tomorrow most of the day?
Yeah, I'll be here all day tomorrow. I don't leave till
You still have my number, right?
I should have it in there.
Okay.
Are you in a booth or are you?
No, I'm here doing, we're taking a different approach. So it's 850. If you want to connect tomorrow, let's connect tomorrow for sure.
Thanks, Lance.
Yeah, you got it, man.
You don't have any
stuff.
You don't have any boxes too, do you? So
I didn't bring any. I brought one for our design guy's son, and then I brought a box of this year's vintage. Just in cases, giveaways, stuff like that. But I didn't bring any. So I have some, if you're interested.
might go online to get it.
Um,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, good.
well, you're here all weekend, right?
I'm here till Saturday, yeah.
Okay, I'm here until Saturday.
Is there somewhere I can come grab you later?
Yeah, I'm gonna be bouncing around, but I'll keep an eye out, and well, here, just one second. I'm sorry, Scott.
No, do it.
Here, I'm gonna do this for both you guys. It'll make life easier. Yeah, dude, it came out nice. Ooh, there we go.
Thank you
So
so much.
just text me, and we'll sync up tomorrow.
That sounds
Yeah,
great. It's
yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah, you too, Scott.
Lance, nephew.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Cameron.
Hey, nice to meet you, Cameron. Yeah, we'll sync up tomorrow and connect and figure out what we can do. Just text me, and we'll figure it out. Yeah, I've got some extra cases that I can just have drop shipped from our printer, and I can do so. There's 4 boxes. I think I quoted the whole thing. It's 600.
Well, I'll just do that.
Yeah, if you want to do that, so just text me, like your address, and then a good PayPal email, and I'll throw you a PayPal invoice, just knock it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. Just Thursday, probably the ship Monday.
I'm gonna try to get that whole set at the end.
Wit has one, Basana has one, Kurtz, Burns. Yeah, the first 10 were autographed. Every single player. Yeah. It's all pink.
Straight fire. Straight fire. Great job.
Yeah.
The guys before this did a panel, they basically told me they're good.
That was good. That was good stuff.
First time I ever did one. I never did one before.
Did good? Oh, we fed off each other pretty good.
Great.
Yeah. We used to be in the corporate area. So last year when the new promoter took over, he kind of changed the rules up a little bit.
Are the mics on?
Yeah, I hear that. So I was like, it's not good. Yeah, I love it.
Hello. Hey everyone, thanks for being here. We have a fun panel today. We're going to be talking about cardboard to culture, how collecting took over, well, just about everything. So excited to be here today. I have an amazing panel. You're going to learn a little bit more about everyone, but let's start off with the National has changed. Obviously, we've seen evolution over the years. I think this is no longer your father's card show, right? So things have changed from hobby to culture, but we're really talking about the crossover economy here. So collectible world is now bleeding over into culture, from sneakers to anime to creators, games, and blockchain IP, of course. So we brought together 3 people who live at the epicenter of all of these places. I'll introduce myself. I'm Matt Spasta. I'm the CEO of Check AI, which is an AI grading company in the trading card space, as well as Trove, which is a content and media studio in the collectible space. And I'm joined by 3 amazing people. So one built the pop culture platform before platforms existed. It's Gareb Shamus. He's in the middle. He's the founder of Wizard Magazine and also Comic-Con, which everyone knows about. He's now the CEO of StarPix. We'll get into a little bit more about everyone as we go through. Once scaled Gary V's vision into one of the world's biggest brands. So collector community in the world, Andy Kranak is the CEO of VFriends. And lastly, Evan over here is building a digital town square for collectors of everything from Pokemon to PMGs. So we're going to get into it a little bit. I'm going to ask some fun questions. Maybe we'll get the audience involved. But I'll start off with Gareb. So when did you first realize that comics and cards and collecting more broadly had broken into the cultural zeitgeist?
Hi, my name is Gareb. I've been in the superhero business my whole life. Luckily, I grew up with 3 brothers collecting sports cards first, then comic books. And it was a very interesting moment because my Wizard magazine at the time, we were like Beckett only for comic books. We had a very big issue coming up with Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee, all the biggest artists in the comic book world. And our sales exploded like crazy. And we knew that we had to keep people buying the magazine after those magazines went on sale. And the only way to do that was to put trading cards in the magazine so that we numbered them starting 1, then 2, then 3, so that we knew that by the time the big issues went off sale, the next ones would sell because people were big card collectors. And that's exactly what happened. This was in 1992, over literally 33 years ago. We put trading cards in the magazine to make sure that people would just keep buying the magazine.
That's incredible. All right, so that's a perfect little intro and entree into what we're doing. I'm going to go to Evan next. Are cards today more about collecting or flexing, and where do you draw the line between community and clout?
I mean, a cop-out answer, but I think it's both. And you walk around here and you see people who are doing 2 different things. There are people here who want to flip, buy, sell, go on breaks, and then there are people here who are here for the community or PC collectors and stuff like that. That's what I love about the hobby, though, is that there's not really a wrong way to do it. And I think for us, though, culture kind of permeates all of it. You find your clans, you find your people, you find your community, no matter which side of the collecting journey you're on.
I love that. All right, we're going to go to the next one. And this is kind of a softball question to Andy, but what does phygital mean to you? And who's doing it right in culture by collectibles? And obviously we'll start with VFriends, but you could talk about some other players in the space as well if you want.
What does phygital mean to me? I think phygital is just the combination of collecting something physically or digitally, and or the same item, both digitally and physically. If I was going to give myself a humble brag, I would say that VFriends is doing it in a really interesting and innovative way. If you owned VFriends NFT, our premier digital collectible, you actually got our VFriends Topps Chrome hobby box for $99. So almost 100% off retail value. And I think the combination between collecting digitally and physically is going to continue to evolve and change. I think there's a lot of interesting ways you can verify the authenticity of a physical collectible digitally on blockchain technology. And I think we're just at the beginning of all of that.
So I'm going to brag for you, but I think the biggest flex is if you're a gift code holder, and that's a VFriends Series 1. But if you were an NFT holder of gift codes, you happen to get a box of VFriends Topps Chrome Sapphire. Is that correct?
That is correct. To my knowledge, lowest print run of a Topps Sapphire box ever was primarily given as a gift to the owners of our digital collectible, the Gift Goat NFT, which again is just really cool, and it is combining the worlds of physical and digital collecting, and also developing a community in a really unique way where you're creating a community around a digital NFT that you own.
Those boxes are selling now for $8,000 in the secondary market. I just wanted to make sure of that.
If you want to enter an EQL raffle, we're selling them for $1,555.
Oh,
We're
wow.
picking 5 winners every day for the next 3 days.
So
right
that's
up
a
at the
little bit of
defense coach.
alpha for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, we're going to go back to Garb now. So you've seen comics, gaming, and even cosplay go from fringe to mainstream. What parallels do you see now in cards?
The greatest thing about cards is the passion that people have for them. And one of the greatest things that you see, especially at this event, is all the kids that are now getting into it. I think there was a very big lull for a long time in the age gap in this industry, and very recently, the explosion of kids and younger kids coming in has been incredible. So for me, a lot of it is kind of the age side of it. Is that when we started cosplay, it was the kids dressing up in costume and wanting to show that to their friends. You're starting to see that here as well. I think a lot of the older collectors are doing it for their own personal satisfaction, where when you see kids, it's about sharing. And all these kids are bringing the Zion cases. They're all interacting with each other. They're buying and selling and trading with each other so that they could trade and upgrade with the dealers. And that, to me, and that type of passion is what's super cool. What's so cool about this industry now that you haven't seen in decades.
So I saw Garab at the airport on my way out here, and he saw me with the Zion case, and he just looked at me and he smiled.
Yeah, my brother and I, we were heading to the plane, and we said, how many people with Zion cases are we going to see getting onto this plane? And literally 4 seconds later, I look up, and there's Matt with his Zion case, and it was just very funny timing.
No, it's amazing.
What was in it, Matt?
What was in it? So right now, I'm gonna quick tangent, but I've been collecting mostly soccer, and obviously getting ahead of World Cup for next year. But the really interesting thing is I have not seen much soccer across
Very
cases.
little. Very little.
And I've been very in on a lot of the auctions that are happening, and there's a ton of action and activity in soccer, but you're really not seeing it so much in places like this.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because they're underrepresented, whether it's sports, IPs, and things like that. And you're going to see year over year. I mean, think about where VFriends was a few years ago. Now you guys have one of the biggest and busiest booths around here. But there's just this evolution that continues to happen across the hobby, which is just incredible to watch.
Well said.
All right, we're going to go back to Evan now. So, what are collectors really looking for when they gather online? This is, I think you have unique understanding of this. And what drives engagement today that didn't 10 years ago?
On the Mantle platform, I don't know how many of you guys are on Mantle, but it's a social network for collectors. It's like Reddit meets Instagram, all free and all about collecting. So there's not a lot of the BS that you see on other social platforms where people are talking about war and religion and health and tariffs and whatever. Like if you're on Mantle, you're talking about your cards, you're talking about your comic books. That's why you're there. And so people on our platform are there because they're searching for community. They say, this is something that I love, and I don't want to be bothered by what's happening everywhere else on the world. I just want to talk about the things that I care about. And so we have a pretty unique view because the only thing that we see on our platform is people talking about their biggest passions. And generally it's, here's the thing that I love. I'm looking for advice. So there's a lot of people helping each other out on the platform saying like, hey, I'm going to go buy my first, I've never bought VFriends before. What should I be looking for? What's the game versus the card versus the comic book? And so there's a lot of that happens on the platform. But I would say, and I know I'm tooting the Mantle horn here, but I have not been on a social platform that's been this communal, positive, and respectful in my entire life. I hope it stays that way. If you are a nice person, please come on. If you are not a nice person, please forget that I ever mentioned Mantle as a business, because we're really trying to build something that people in the hobby feel like that they own and feel like adds to their life, and it makes collecting more fun.
All right, I'm going to add on to that. My experience on Mantle has been incredible, and I co-sign everything he just said there. It is the most resourceful community you could go to. You literally post a question or you post about something that you're looking for more information. You get 5 tags, and all of a sudden you have subject matter expertise like driving in force. And it's been a really incredible experience. So check out Mantle. They have an app you could download as well. So we're going to go back to Andy here. So VFriends sits at the intersection of personality-driven brands and collector culture. How important is storytelling versus scarcity?
How important is storytelling versus scarcity? Well, I would say you can have a collectible brand and IP without the stories and be really successful. Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty doesn't really have any stories. It's an iconic IP. It has collectibles. I don't think they lean into collectability as much. But for V-Friends, if we don't successfully tell our stories, we will not be the IP that we aspire to be. Where I was just telling Gareb that we are on comic book number 4 in V-Friends. And we are going to continue to tell the stories and bring to life the characters through their stories, which will hopefully create a bigger impact on the scarcity. When you have an out of 5 rare robot, when the comic book origin story for rare robot comes out next year, that out of 5 or 1 of 1 card is just going to be worth that much more because it's going to have a different level of connection and collectability to it.
If you don't know V-Friends, go check it out. But what Andy and Gary have created is basically an IP that they created out of thin air 4 years later. It's got its own trading card that's selling out. They have their own series, comic books, like you name it. It's an IP that's now, a global IP, and it's just incredible the fact that you've been able to do that so quickly. So congrats.
I would just add, for both these guys and what we try to do on Mansell, if you think about what cards are, it's generally an adult playing a kid's game on a piece of cardboard. And if you don't break it down to the story and build IP and build storytelling around it, or explain the why this card matters versus this card, one of the examples I always use is like the T206 Wagner is like the card in the hobby. Why? I would imagine a lot of people here, nobody here ever saw him play. Nobody saw a video of him play. Very few people know all the things about him, but it's like the storytelling behind it. And I think that's what's genius about what both these guys have done, and the things that always perform best on Mansell. When you break something down to the story, to like the why this matters versus this other thing. And I think that's what makes this entire community special. It's the context and the community coming together to say these things are cool, these things we're gonna back, these things are not for us.
Yeah, it's a great point. And we do similar stuff on Trove. We break down storytelling, through things like provenance and historical evidence, and you tie it back to something that's extremely relatable. I think that's important to us, especially in content. It's like people want to consume content that's relatable to them. They want to be able to understand, like these big collectibles, you're seeing these $1 million sales. For a lot of people, that's aspirational, but how do you make the $1,000 sale that then over time will lead to bigger sales? So that's a good segue into, and I'm going to ask a question, sorry, there's a big announcement happening right now. But I'll leave this open to the group and anyone can respond to it. But should the hobby embrace the influencer era, or is there risk of losing the soul of collecting? And I think we see a lot of hobby influencers, out and about. I think some of them are really good in creating awareness. Some of them are good at creating exposure, but other of them are maybe using it for personal gain. So I'd love to know from everyone's point of view how they think about that.
So from my standpoint, anything that creates a connection with people is good. Yeah. It doesn't mean that everybody's good at it or they mean to be good, but especially in a business like this and a hobby and it's growing really big, and you need the tentacles to reach out to people that you wouldn't normally reach out to. And a lot of times these companies, they don't have the ability to reach out to people. And by having influencers there, they could tell a story, or they could tell their story in a way. There's a lot of categories that I like watching people collect, even though I don't collect those things. So whether it's sneakers or watches, I'm not a sneaker collector or a watch collector, but I love watching the influencers in those worlds because they're even able to drag me in, even though I'm not a collector. It's bringing me in, and maybe one day I will be a collector in those areas. But I think that's kind of the tentacle. And then even getting back to what Andy was talking about with the stories, it's creating that emotional connection. And that's what telling stories with characters does. Yeah. And that's why they're so successful, is because Gary and Andy, they're so great at creating that emotional connection with fans that gets them invested in the IP. And, getting back to influencers, they could do that too.
Yeah, that's great.
I think Gary talks a lot about this. We were just at a meeting with Walmart. That collecting as a genre in pop culture is continuing to grow, and it's going to be a staple, much like music or movies or sports. If you're sitting at a dinner table, it's going to become more and more common, and it's becoming more and more common not to just ask who's your favorite actor or your favorite sports team, but to ask what do you collect. It could be watches, it could be games, and I think the hobbies continue to grow, as Matt says, and it's really cool to see how it has evolved over the last 5 years. And I think that as it grows, whether it's using influencers or AI. It's going to need to adapt and grow with the times, and I think it should embrace it. And you can still be true to the origins of the hobby and the traditions of the hobby at the same time.
And I will say, I mean, Gary was, especially early in COVID, really the ambassador for the trading card world. And, you know, the amount of people he was able to adopt into the space and introduce into this. And I just know that the personal time that he puts in, he's got 20 different group chats where he's sending alpha and he's telling people what they should be looking at. And he's just so helpful, and he actually puts in the time. And to see that morph now from his personal collecting journey into developing an IP that people can now collect has been really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think for influencers and everyone can decide if they want to follow someone or not. But I think why it's worked for V-Friends and Gary's, it's authentic to him. You know, he was collecting cards at 10 years old, selling baseball cards. If you come by our booth, you will see how much passion he has for being at the National and the cards and being in this hobby.
That's great. Evan, you want anything in there?
You know, at the end of the day, we need to get people in, and it doesn't really matter what that sort of gateway is into the hobby. People will then come in because they watch a break or a video, and then they'll go and they'll buy it from a table or find another, maybe they're going to go into Star Picks cards, but you just kind of have to get them in. And so for me, influencers are just the loudest voice to tell people what we're doing, and then people will get into this room at the at the National, wherever, a hobby shop, and then they'll go and they'll find the things that they really want to be a part of. So, look, not everybody's great. Some people came in for the wrong reasons, and we see that, but the community is generally pretty good at sniffing out phonies and putting their backing behind people who care, who really believe it, who are here for the long haul. And so I think eventually you'll see that the people who stick around will have stuck around for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's great. All right, the next question. So we're going to get into technology, and what I really want to know is, because we've seen this evolution over the last few years, but what role is technology, whether it's AI, blockchain, going to really play in shaping the next phase of collecting culture? And we've seen, especially sort of the cardboard world, the physical collectors, slower to embrace or adopt the new digital tools, but I think we all know it's the future. Selfish plug for myself, I've been developing an AI grading technology that a lot of people are skeptical of, even though the results speak for themselves. And there are obviously the traditional grading issues that we have around subjectivity and things like that. But I think over time, people are going to get more comfortable with it. I think we're seeing the next generation collector come in embracing these tools ahead of even some of the traditional tools. But how do you feel like technology is shaping your area of the market and also the way you see people collecting? I'll open that up to everyone.
So the way we look at technology, so this is the company Star Picks that I started. These happen to be cards that were signed by Ozzy Osbourne. We did a signing with him. Everything is on card. We date stamp. Everything has got unique QR codes, and it's literally like getting the chase card without having to do the chase. So we do all the work for you. And technology is going to play a very big role down in the future because of the idea of having something be authentic, and being able to have proof of ownership, a certificate of authenticity. It might be access to a fan club. And right now, when you own a physical card, you just own the physical. And I do think that in the future, having some sort of digital component to that is going to be a lot more of what people are going to use as that access or that influence that you have. So if I wanted to sell this card to you in the future, and you and I don't know each other, I can send you a digital, you can call it a digital twin or an NFT, whatever you prefer, to prove that I own it, so that when we do the transaction, you know that you're getting something that I actually do possess because I proved it to you. Or if I want to sell you something that's very expensive, there's some sort of certificate that comes along with it, and it's a digital certificate, which again is the proof of ownership. Or it could be simple that, I'm in a fan club, and by having both the physical or the digital, I can prove that I'm in the fan club with you. And we're going to be investing a lot in Star Picks to have that physical digital connection, and we're really excited about where that's going to go.
I've long had a theory that collectors are by blood, not early adopters, because we're a little bit stuck in the past, right? You hold on to things that are old by nature. Everything that you have, if it was art, it was made before, it was from a time in the past, and so collectors are not always going to be the first people on new technology. NFTs a little bit different, but for the most part, card collectors, memorabilia collectors are not going to jump at the newest fad. And I think that's a good thing, because then you have to kind of prove yourself and you have to have staying power and build something that's really valuable to the community. But I can tell you from coming to this event enough years in a row, how much it's changed and how many tech companies are here that weren't here last year or the year before. When you look at the card shops and the displays and how much more tech you see in every one of these booths, I think that the technology that you're developing and people building AI into apps that are not AI apps, but say, I was talking to a buddy yesterday who's got a pricing app, and you can just ask the app, you can speak to it and say, hey, I'm looking for this price or this thing, and it just pops up through AI. Those are things that are going to make people's lives easier and I think add value to the community, and there won't be like flash in the pan, because it's not chasing a trend, because nobody here is looking for a trend. People here are looking for something that's going to be around for a long time.
I think I would agree with everything that everyone said. Ideally, all the technology and AI is just making better experiences and better product for the collectors. And I think people can get behind that. With blockchain and NFTs and digital collectibles, I think people like to throw out a debate about collecting digitally or physically, but I think the answer is both. And you can collect both at the same time, and hopefully they can augment and make a better collectible product overall.
Great answers. All right, we're going to wrap this up, but I have one last question for everyone. I'm going to pose it to everyone. What's the big cultural wave that will collide with collecting in the next generation, next few years, next wave of collecting?
Oh, go ahead.
I wasn't going to go, but I'll just rant a little bit. Soccer is on my mind. I think Matt is a smart collector, and I think he's right to be looking at soccer right now with World Cup coming. I think Labubu, what just happened with that is really an historic moment. I think we're going to look back at that over the next 3 or 4 years and see that was a waterfall moment for a lot of bigger brands and bigger IPs thinking about collectability for their products. And outside of that, I'll say LeBron James is the GOAT. And that's all I got to say.
By the way, the Labubu one is really interesting, and only because I have young children, and my daughters have me going to the mall each day to go to the vending machine to actually hit the restock. And the fact that my kids are trying to hit a restock is mind-boggling to me. My kids are 7 and 9, and I'm waiting online like an idiot. And obviously, I missed the restock, and I come home empty-handed, and it's a horrible experience. But yeah, that's a cultural shift. Our kids are now doing things that we're doing. They're basically entering into their version of online breaking, right? My kids are playing Roblox, and they're playing this game Grow a Garden, where they have 2 million concurrents in there, and they're waiting for the restock in the stores to get seeds to plant in their garden. I'm like, oh my God. I'm hooked on this game, and I'm like, this is the same thing that I do at cart. It's just amazing, but that was a good call.
Yeah, so from my perspective, the thing that we're going to start seeing a lot more of is trading cards as a new medium. And we've seen it obviously through sports for the last 100 years. We've started to see that through card gaming, through Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and things like that. We're starting to see it both digitally. I've been investing in my future in the idea of doing celebrity entertainment, autograph cards. And I think we're going to start seeing an explosion of the trading card format and medium as a vehicle for being able to go into a lot of new areas. It's something that people have been collecting for 100+ years. The authentication business has been around for 3 decades. It's one of those things that's so ingrained in us, and it's such an incredible medium because it could just fit in your pocket, that I think we're going to start seeing a massive expansion of trading cards as a medium into a lot of other areas. I think we're going to be on the forefront of that, especially on the entertainment side, and then a few other areas too. So I think we're literally on the infancy of where this trading card business is going to be in the future.
I would think about the globalization of sports cards and TCG. A few years ago, it was primarily U.S. sports and cards being sold here. Topps just opened up a shop. Fanatics did in London. If you go to Asia, card shows in Asia are massive. A lot of the cards that are being sold, high-end cards especially, are going to Asia. I think with the World Cup coming and other sports getting, Olympics and things like that, you're just going to start seeing more stuff from outside the U.S. come in here and influence this group, and I think vice versa. A lot more stuff that will be sold and will be generated by the passion in other countries, which is a really good thing. And it'll be interesting to see how much that changes. We've already seen a couple of the companies today here are based in Asia and they're at the National. I have a feeling it's going to be tenfold in just a year or two.
Yeah, it's incredible just watching the explosion in the space, and I agree even globally. So that was a great 30 minutes. I know everyone's busy, even you guys, so it's like I appreciate everyone taking the time to come out, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see everyone soon.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Guys, can we take a picture?
Yeah, that's good. Hey, do you want to grab it? Should we do it from down there? You want it to I like the idea of getting background stage. I'd rather not have that.
Oh, okay. Then
maybe we go over here.
Then definitely. Oh, sorry. I was like, wait, where'd you go? Oh,
He's coming up.
Steve, you coming up? Oh,
That's fine.
all right.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys.
I always forget to take pictures, so it's like we kind of
Thank you again.
This is awesome. Yeah. I gotta get your info. Yeah, let me know when. Yeah, I got yours. We gotta get together. I have some. I have immense resources in the comic book world, so I'll be happy to hook you up with anybody. Like I'm having dinner on Monday. My friend started Comixology, which sold to Amazon. So like you want to talk about digital comics? Like that guy invented it. I live in New York. Yeah, I live right on 456. Yeah, no, I travel a lot, but I'm in New York all the time. Reach out. Yeah, that'd be great. 'Cause I can hook you up with everybody. Like I want you guys to succeed in every way. Yes, I know. Same. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it was so funny.
I'll show you more what we're doing.